Hello and welcome back to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob and I'm joined as ever by my mythological players, Mike, Matt and Tom. And I'm going to ask them the immortal question, the question that you'll find on a magnet on your fridge next to the best drawing you've done of a house. What happened previously on Knights of the Apocalypse, Omen War.
KOTA.
KOTA.
Right.
Knights of the Apocalypse in old Kobold.
We entered the keep.
We entered the keep. Yes,
The
we
Keep
did.
of Tidewatch, yes.
Yes. And there was a bunch of orcs who were on lookout, but our attention was pulled to some magic behind us on top of the top of the gate, and there was an elf just hiding in plain sight, whose name I believe is Averios.
Averios, correct. Yes, Averios.
Averios.
He had a good deal of things to say to you. Do you recall anything that he brought up?
He said that he'd seen us
He did,
in
yes.
dreams. I think he mentioned in dreams, which is an interesting thing. I only say out of game because in magical terms, there aren't that many forms of magical spell that function in dreams. There are a few specific ones, but obviously in game I don't know, and out of game I sort of don't know.
It's classic O'Neill.
But I know it exists, and there aren't a lot, so that narrows it down. Also, we bloody didn't trust him.
No, you didn't trust him. There was a number of checks made upon him. Galarick, I believe, did some attempt to...
He wasn't evil.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, to detect evil, and you detected he was not
didn't
evil.
appear anything, did he?
That's
We
correct.
detected him as nothing at all.
Nothing at all. He gave mention of hearing a drow and knowing that there was a drow that is still present within this place, the drow delver that you've been looking for all this time. So that confirms to you that there is still something worth exploring and fighting for in this place. But do you remember anything else that he mentioned that what was he doing there, for example?
A secret beneath the tides.
That's right, yeah. It was a truth that he was willing to share with you, but only when you were ready. Hence, the immense will save that both Galarick and Pop underwent to try and see what Averios could see. And you saw nothing but the ruins of E3L. Descending, you then went into the barracks.
There was one more thing he
Oh.
did before we left, actually, wasn't there? Because he said in Pop's mind, we shall reach out sooner than you might hope.
Sooner than you might hope, yeah.
Interesting wording.
Yeah. Ominous.
Yeah, he definitely took an interest in you, Pop. You noted that he was like, "Oh," you were the first person given the chance to look, and Gallic was like, "Well, I want to try," and he was like, "Well, all right,
I've got a will save.
I've got a will save as well."
And failed.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
He just as I recall, he pointed out that he couldn't be perceived by them. That's why they weren't attacking him. It wasn't that he was invisible; they just weren't perceiving him.
Yes,
Which is
those
interesting.
those that hold evil in their hearts find it difficult to see good in the world. Was his words.
Interesting.
Make that of what you will. I said that
Yes.
wrong.
Definitely deserves some more thought. But yes, we did, and we went into the barracks, which we were invisible and silent. That's the word. Thank you. Again, without sound. No.
Muted.
It's been a day. We were silent, so we decided to, instead of trying to just unlock the door, we'd just boot it open because it wasn't going to break invisibility or because it was an inanimate object, which was fine.
You're an inanimate fucking object.
I'm sorry, I called you a name. And there was Kobold on the other side, very surprised that the door swung open. but didn't see us. Just like,
No, he didn't,
The hell?
unfortunately. It was quite funny, actually, because he was so confused, bless him, and then he just died.
he did. He was just, it's weird, he just fell in half.
As
So
the
strange.
invisible fleece took him down. He then stood before the Shine Scale, some kobold authority, giving orders to his minions. Do you remember what he was saying about their position?
Guarding a cave, but why should they? It's not always accessible. Yada yada yada.
Exactly it. Yeah, tide watch is the crucial point of this particular place. The tide dictates when you could use that passageway, ruined passageway, through the remains of this place, and you had to wait for the tide to go out. Though Pop's observation of the lunar cycle from an earlier session let you know that because there are 3 moons in our world, that means that the tides sometimes are a bit sporadic, convenient when you just want to hand wave something about the tides, for example. Who knows how they work? They're crazy.
Who knows?
3 moons.
Exactly,
Added
3
an
moons,
element
yeah.
of who knows when the tide's going to come back
Exactly.
in, and who knows how quickly, which I think is definitely...
Well, very pertinent as well, because it wasn't
But
long before you did some exploring in this place. What did you find?
Gold.
Yes, we found a hoard.
Yes.
Branching cave, and down one of the branches was a hoard. A dragon hoard. It was very clearly a dragon hoard.
Yep.
We all know dragons keep hoards. We all knew there was a dragon nearby. It was like, this is definitely some cursed treasure right here. And I think it was Pop, I think, that pointed out there was definitely an alarm spell that we almost triggered, but then didn't.
Within 5 feet of breaking.
But the dragon was out. He wasn't home.
Yes, you observed that the dragon has made his hoard in like a U-bend.
Oh, yes.
I'm glad you asked.
Glorious draconic U-bend.
Because you're like, how does the treasure not get swept out? And I was like, it's in a U-bend, that's why.
I like that you went to toilet rather than the sort of the thing in nature that does it, which is a beaver.
Dragons are like beavers in a lot of ways.
Just like beavers.
Yeah, they have hordes and stuff. Yeah.
Their teeth are
And a
orange.
tail.
I've heard
Yeah.
as well.
They breathe fire, crazy. You went down the other route,
Fear aura.
and you found a dead hand reaching out, but you were alarmed to discover that an undead menace awaited. What did you fight below?
It was some Gehasts.
Yep, Gehast. Yep, and some
It was a
ghouls.
ghast. It was ghouls and a ghast troll, I think.
That's right. Yep.
Pretty nasty. But we did all right. We took them out pretty quickly, which is good because the tide started coming back in, and we had to escape, which we did in a panic to the nearest door. Took a few swings to knock it open, and we encountered a room full of dragony creatures.
That's
We
shrouded
we
in
didn't encounter any
green
dragon
fire.
creatures. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
we didn't see any.
No,
There's nothing
right. For transparency, which was the problem, the transparency layer. But my ambush was revealed to the players a little early. But we will.
It was-
But no.
we're just
You
too
see
good.
them. Yeah, you just spotted them
We
immediately.
supersede Roll20 and its issues. Our checks are just so good.
I'm going to ask anyone who has knowledge arcana to make a roll as I move our vision over to the subterranean passageways beneath Tidewatch. Pop, you are looking at these creatures, reptilian, that roll about through gaseous green flames. You know these to be of draconic origin, but that is all you know with your Arcana check. And it is that time alone you have, for they react immediately. This one here sweeps forward as initiative has already been rolled and positions itself in front of all of you. Like that.
Oh no, I think we know where this is going.
Ruh-roh.
And with that, I would like you all,
They burp the alphabet.
please, to make a will save.
Oh! That's not what I was expecting.
DC 17.
That's very unlikely. 17? Oh god! 4.
18.
13.
Oh my god, we'll
to roll a
we'll tell it
15 anyway.
from Pop's perspective then. Pop, you see this creature come out, it zips with unfathomable speed, which is ironic considering what it then does. It opens its terrible jaws. This drake gives out a horrible, low growl as its slow breath bursts forward, and you see your friends gradually move to a snail's pace.
Good luck, Pop.
An affected creature moves and attacks at a drastically slowed rate. A slowed creature can take only single move actions or standard action each turn, but not both. No full round actions. You also take a -1 penalty on attack rolls, armor class, and reflex saves. You are also going to move at half your speed, and that is going to last for 4 rounds. And it's moved and it's done that. That is its turn. This one above, you are horrified to see, is going to vanish into the green flames. And you can all make me a spot check, please.
Okay.
Yep, that'll take me about 5 minutes.
10.
19.
14.
Oh my word. That's very interesting. Pop,
Yes.
this thing goes to try and hide from you, and it has an insanely high check, I will point out. But it rolled terribly, and you roll just well enough to see that the creature simply moves to hide in the fire that it was sat next to, and is not actually hidden from you. Pop, it is your turn.
Pop sees the slow effect hitting his chums, and he recognizes this for what it is. You see, when one learns about the effects of slow, he begins, one also learns the importance of haste. And he's going to cast haste on Galarick and Fleece.
Incredible! And just like that, the
Thank you.
game-changing maneuver is reversed instantly, not annoyingly at all. As
Sorry.
as you are freed from the grip of that magic, Galarick and Fleece, and you also now have the benefits of haste, which I'm sure you remember. Anything else on your turn, Pop?
Do we have the benefits of haste, or does
no,
it just cancel
cancels
out slow?
slow.
Count as a
Yeah, I thought that was
Okay,
the case.
yeah, okay.
But I believe I can have the benefits of haste.
Absolutely, yes, because you did not fall under the grip of it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Can Please, he's talking about lectures twice as fast.
Yeah, literally. He's
Times to playback, yeah.
Pop gets
very
several lectures out in
quickly
2 minutes.
explaining the difference between haste and slow, and why one counters the other, and the other one counters the other, and it's a bit of a loop if you get too stuck into it. Can I do some sort of check to point out the hiding Drake in the fire?
You can just speak. That's free. Yeah, just say it's over there.
Look over there. There's a Drake hidden in the flames. It may look like it's disappeared, but to my eyes, I still see it plain. Right there in the fire. And then I'm going to move backwards.
Right there.
Allow us another spot check or something.
That's a good point. He's pointed it out, so you know where it is. You can give me another spot check. I won't re-roll its hide check because it's already done that. So you need to beat 18 to find it.
15.
Not going to happen.
You know where it is and where it's sat, but if it moves around, then you might lose it for sure.
Pop, I can't. Nope. It's just fire.
It is blending in with the fire, friend. I don't know.
Just deal with the one in front for now. I'll sort the other one.
That is very much the plan, yes.
And as you say these words, Fleece, it is now your turn. Behold, a Drake looms before you. What do you do?
Well, I cannot get a running jump attack from where I'm stood. Or can I? I have to be able to move at least 10 feet. Which... it's 10 feet from my square to that square. But it will be a standing jump, which makes it harder. Do you know what? I'm not going to bother. We'll save the jumping attacks for another time. I will just move. It's more than a 5-foot step, though, unfortunately.
Yep. It gives like a horrible hiss as you move towards it.
Yeah, we'll just do that, and we'll go for. Let's go for a 5-point power attack. Which makes that... Oh, I don't mind if I do.
Possibly a critical hit. Confirmed.
21.
Is a critical. You smash into the Drake. It gives...
I took a lot of 5-point power attack.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's nice.
That is nice.
So let's roll a D100. That's 86.
Ooh.
Oh my word.
That's a big
Mm.
number.
It's okay. I don't think it makes sense personally.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense, I'm afraid.
If it doesn't make sense,
I think it might actually benefit you to re-roll. So give it another roll.
32.
Yeah, it certainly benefits you. That is literally the first one that you get that gives you a critical multiplier. You're just on the edge. So that's
right.
critical multiplier plus 1.
3, that makes it times 4, doesn't it?
There we are. Oh my god.
3, 6, so that makes that 12d6.
These aren't pushovers, I will point out. These are not pushovers.
I'm going to need a calculator.
Oh no.
Plus that to start with, and then I'll add the power attack. I added 5, so... Okay. That's rather a nice number. Okay, and Kashmak, 129 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
I think we'll wait and see if it's alive or dead or whatever before I make.
I mean, it's 100% dead.
Okay.
It goes for you, but you just immediately destroy it in one strike. What does it look like?
Well, exactly what's happened, right? Fleece has been slowed, and he feels slowed for a second, so he thinks he's going to have to put way more effort into the attack. He's like trying to strike through butter, but halfway through, it's like when someone's holding your head and they just take their hand away. He almost stumbles forward because the slow disappears. And the added sort of effort of the fall takes him by surprise as well. And he almost accidentally sinks the axe straight into its skull. Like, doof, oh! He's like, oh! He's just totally taken by surprise as he almost falls over, but then tries to style it out unsuccessfully.
Incredible work, and the force of it, I'm going to say, just blows quite a lot of the green flames like flat from just the waft that comes through the room as this drake is immediately smashed into nothingness. Amazing. With that being your turn, unless you can do anything else.
No, that's me.
Galarick, you're up.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to head there, and then I'm going to shout out to the room. Stop hiding and face me, you cowardly creature, as I attempt to force it with a test of metal. It needs to make a will save of 15.
This is as long as they're intelligent, though, right?
I'm going on the base. I'm hoping, because it's like a drake kind of lizard, it's at least 3.
Fingers crossed.
Either
way, it gives us information, though, doesn't it? So it's not.
So, and just so I'm clear, it would act on its turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, you call out into the room. And is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I go into total defense.
Okay. That one up there did not fail the check. This one did, however.
Oh no.
Because exploding out of the flames is an ambush. Within an ambush! This one just lunges out of nowhere and is immediately going to try and claw into you, Galarick. I'm a class.
I'm going to shield block him, so that's 27.
That is a hit.
Oh.
It rushes forward, and its bite, these are clearly some fell dragon spawn. Like I say, they are a fearful enemy indeed. And they rush forward, and its jaws clamp around your forearm, dealing...
Ow.
That is going to be 9 points of piercing damage. And can you please make a fortitude saving throw, DC 17?
Is it poison?
It might just be. You get your bonus.
Yay. So what was the DC?
17.
Oh.
Yeah, you just feel like the terrible creep of some horrible poison coursing through you, and while you have resisted there, you feel that its evil hasn't left you just yet, as a secondary effect may come into effect. That was its turn. It's rushed out, and now the other one that is hidden leaps out of the green flames directly in front of you, Galarick, and unfortunately, you're just in the spot.
Fair enough.
No, you know what? Even better. He can move up onto here. Galarick and Fleece, please make a will save. As it opens its mouth, and a blast of slowing force comes rippling forward. Will save DC 17, please.
Oh. Devils guide me.
16.
Oh, 16 too.
Oh, well, I feel a bit gross doing that, but there is more than one of them, so why wouldn't they? And they surge forward, and you find once again, slow it down. The fire around you, Galarick, appears to be moving around you in slower than it had been before. That was its turn. This one is dead. Oh, it's just the one up in the corner now. He's going to stay where he is. Pop, it's your turn. You watch with dismay as your hard work is undone once again by the ambush drakes. What do you do?
Is that other one hidden?
Not from you, but from the others, yes.
Yeah.
They know he's there, but can't see him.
Okay. I will cast Glitter Dust.
Glitter dust.
Very clever.
Glitter Dust on that one.
It's beautiful.
It's too pretty.
Oh, wow.
Just need to check if it needs to do some sort of save. I imagine it will. It needs to make a will save of 17.
Okay, can you make a caster level check for me, please?
No. 18.
Your power surpasses the spell resistance, and the spell is effective. It will make a will save of 17, did you say?
Yes.
That, remarkably, is a fail. Glitter dust takes effect on the creature, and from the gaseous acid that is blooming over there, you are all now able to see the creature.
And it's blind.
Okay, no problem.
And it's blind for 7 rounds.
Cool.
As the glitter goes in its eyes.
Blind. Anything else, Pop?
No, because I don't want to go into the room because I don't want to die.
Fair enough.
And as our vision moves to Fleece, you are once again slowed. What do you do?
What do I do? That's a really good question, because I can't. So they're large, right?
They are large creatures, yes.
I mean, I could take a 5-foot step to here, but a 5-foot step in this case isn't a 5-foot step because I'm slowed. It counts as a move.
Yes.
So,
Chuck something.
kind of pointless, actually, to do that. Rather than waste the move, I can move further and get on the other side of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll move around it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get to there, and that's me. That's all I can do.
Very good.
But I am at least cornering it a little bit to drive it into Galarick, although I doubt he'll take the flanking bonus.
I won't.
Because, you know, he doesn't need it, as history has clearly proved in the past.
So as Fleece, you move around to a flanking position at a steady pace. We now move to Galarick.
He's moving through syrup.
Galarick, I mean, I saw Fleece, what he did earlier, so Galarick is just going to maintain the defense right now. And there's still the other two. And I need to very quickly check if I can affect. I don't know if I can affect with a test of metal again. Very quickly, test of metal.
So I rolled for them all when you did your initial one.
Of course you did. Ignore me then.
So I just tried to make it sly, but I promise you I did roll for all of them.
As far as I'm aware, I think it's like 24 hours.
I think from previous sessions it's been that, yes.
Yep.
So unfortunately they won't be affected again. The only one that is affected is the one that bit you, which is the one immediately to your diagonal right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go back into total defense. and just hope.
Okay, you go into total defense.
Finish them, Fleece.
Why are you moving so slowly?
Why are you talking funny?
This one is going to leap forward. Is he going to do this? He is. He is going to do this. What is your armor class, please?
My current armor class would be 17, but it's minus 1, I think, for
Yes, and that is a
slow,
hit.
so it's 16.
Yes, unfortunately so.
Bring it on!
That is 7 points of piercing damage. Please make a fortitude saving throw, DC 17.
How many points of piercing damage, sorry?
7 points of piercing damage. And then make a fortitude saving throw, please.
I'd already sustained some damage in the last session, it would seem. No negatives, I don't think, on fortitude from slow, because it's not reactionary.
No.
26.
Yeah, you feel like some invasive poison is trying to make its way into you, but you are able to resist its effects. Very good.
My one good save.
Which is handy, very handy. So that one move and struck, and then finally this one is going to pounce from its position. And is going to attempt to do the same, I'm afraid.
Still 16, but now he's flanking me.
And that is also a hit. That is
Oh, goody.
9 points of piercing damage.
I'm assuming that's got some sort of scent or ability to see.
Oh, of course. So, funnily enough, he does have blind fight.
Thought they might.
But that is a good point. He would still need to work out where Fleece was. So allow me to do that. I will do a roll just to determine that. He does.
It's fine.
I've already done the damage.
No, I legitimately rolled.
Anyway.
They have scent, which is done through spots. So there we are.
The blinding was a bonus. It wasn't there.
That's fine.
I didn't realise there were two others.
Like another fortitude saving from.
Yes, please.
20 this time.
Pass once again. The ebbing
goodness.
poison does not get hold of you. We move now to Pop. You see your friends are beset on all sides. What do you do?
Yeah, that's not ideal, is it? Good. I didn't realise there were so many of them. There's fucking hundreds.
Yes, there are hundreds.
They're everywhere. I'll try and cast sleep on one of them.
Okay.
See, idea.
Which one do you
Immortality.
choose?
The one of the ones that's attacking Fleece, not the blind one, because at least that's...
Thank you.
Good idea. So this one on the left-hand side of the field of battle that's flanking Fleece.
Yes.
Very good.
Um,
Is it subject to spell
I-
resistance?
it is, but it can also only do up to 4 hit dice worth of creatures. If it's got more than 4 hit dice, I can't do it anyway.
Okay, I'm just going to save some time, Pop, because you reach out and try and cast sleep, and unfortunately, the creature is immune to magical sleep effects, as the draconic kind are, unfortunately. So you try and put him to sleep, and it just has no effect whatsoever.
Nothing.
Entirely immune to the effects of sleep. Anything else on your turn?
I don't think there's anything I can do. I could run in there, but that would just put me in harm's way.
Well, you can ponder that as we now move on to Blease.
I'll try to put it to sleep. I mean, let's take out the one in front of me that hit me first that isn't blinded. I think that's probably for the best. I think we're going to go for another 5-point power attack.
Yep, it hops back and it runs towards you as if to
It's
bite
gonna
you.
be
Can you hit him?
Standard actions only, isn't it? So it's just a single attack, right?
Single attack, yep.
Hiya. 25.
Is a hit.
Lovely stuff. Okay, that's good. So then we do 3 plus. Nice and easy. 3. 29. 2 ones in there.
My word.
29 points of damage.
Grievous strike against it. It gives a hiss and bounces away from you. Greenish blood oozing from it. But it yet lives.
Fleece in trouble.
And as Fleece makes this realization, we now move to Galarick. You hold total defense. What do you do now?
Well, I'll stop you as I go with my glaive. I'm going to attempt a smite upon this one.
Very good.
That's Chow 30.
Is of course a easy strike. You slam into it.
I was one short on the attack roll there, but it's okay. So,
Still hits.
15 points of damage.
It gives as you slam into it.
Second round.
Oh yes. Yep. Anything else on your turn, Galarick?
That's literally all I can do.
How many rounds did we say we were slowed for here?
Well, it's been 2.
4, I think.
Oh yes.
Well,
4.
the first
Yep.
one was 4. The fourth.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's 4.
halfway.
Oh dear. So this one is just going to continue its assault on you, Fleece. This time with a full round of attacks.
Delightful. Armor class is still 16, but I am being flanked. So,
He is being flanked, although that was a terrible roll for the first one, which is a miss. The second one is a hit.
wow.
And then again. Also a hit. So a bite comes in and it snaps just wide of you, but then 2 claws come in and deliver raking strikes. Thankfully not as bad as the bite, but still not pleasant. So first one is 4 points of slashing damage and 3 points of slashing damage. Really bad.
Oh dear.
The one behind it is going to do exactly the same thing.
Fleece is kind of wavering on his feet a little bit.
For some reason they can't hit with their bites. I have no idea why.
I'm glad of it. I'm glad of it.
So 6 and 4, so 10 points of slashing damage from that other one.
Oh shit! Oh my god. Okay.
It appears as if this is it, surrounded by the green flames. The adventurers are fully beset. That was their turn. Pop, it's your turn now.
Dare I interject?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
There's one other that has yet to go. I'm so sorry. This one is going to go for you, Galarick, of course.
Okay.
And it flings itself against your shield arm, hopefully. Class.
Shield block, so that's 22.
Bang! You just bat it aside as it jumps at you, but then another claw
My
comes
shield
in.
is not slowed.
What was your armor class, sorry?
22.
A miss with that claw.
Thank you, shield.
That wasn't a roll, I just pushed the dice, hang on. That is also a miss. You somehow, against this tide of strikes, are able to just hold back the storm.
The animated shield. It's just going dum dum dum
Dang,
dum.
dang, dang,
Just
dang,
moving
dang.
rapidly where I can't.
And then our vision moves to Pop.
I guess that I will attempt to play them their own game, and I'll cast slow on the creatures. which I need to do a
Yeah.
spell.
You do, yes. You do need to do a caster level check against their spell resistance.
Yes. 18.
A success. They have spell resistance, but it's just a basic spell resistance. I am just checking something.
Are they immune to their own breath weapon?
They are not. They are immune to
relief.
many things, but it does not say that they're immune to it. So while it might be a bit weird to think about, they're not. So that means that they have to now make the save. Okay?
They do. Yeah, DC 18 will save.
Now, how many hit die does it affect, or is it just all of the area for slow, isn't it? Just everyone in the area.
Slow, it is 1 creature per level. No
25 plus 5 feet per 2 levels, yes. Okay. So yeah, that does get all of them. Fingers crossed, eh?
Fingers crossed. DC 18.
Oh my word. Pop, what is it like as you totally reverse their power upon them, as all three are slowed now and are now bitten by the same curse?
Brilliant. So I think the first time when they cast, like they did their breath weapon, a little bit of it lingered in Pop's when he rejected it as an effect on himself, and it's still in the area. And what he does is he notices this and draws it together and goes, I see. Well, let's see if I can... and pushes out waves of slowness that just permeate the area.
That's such a
as they're
cool
affected
description.
by their own ability.
I love it. Almost rewinds it back into them. Amazing stuff. As they give out very slow hisses of disdain at that. Anything else on your turn, Pop?
No, I might move forward slightly.
You move forward a little bit. Very good. Okay. And as Pop buys them some time, we now move to Fleece, who is beset.
Yeah, he really is. Fleece is a little bit stuck here because he needs to heal pretty drastically. But I think because of the slow, I don't think he can just withdraw. Can you just withdraw if you do nothing else, even if you're slow? It's just a move action, right?
It's still just a move action, so I don't see why that would be a problem, and it doesn't say anything about that, so we can just assume by that.
Withdrawing is a full round action. I've got it here. So
That's what I was afraid
is a
of.
full round action.
Right, so I can't move without them getting an attack of opportunity, and all three of them will get attacks of opportunity. I will die.
I think that's the case, and it doesn't say anything about them not being able to take attacks of opportunities, does it?
It doesn't in the...
A slowed creature can take only a single move action or standard action, but the attacks of opportunity aren't that, are they? They're immediate actions. It doesn't say anything about immediate actions.
I don't really know. I've never used them in with the spell slow. I don't know how it works. So,
well, unfortunately, it doesn't say that. So, unless you have anything to suggest otherwise, that will sadly be that. If you need to heal, they will get attacks of opportunity.
yeah. So if I heal, they get attacks of opportunity. If I try and move anywhere, they get attacks of opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah,
one full round of 3 attacks of opportunity can straight up kill me now.
Yep.
So,
Standard fight.
yeah, I mean, I have no choice, really. I'm going to have to drop into a rage, which I think dropping into a rage is a free action.
Yeah.
So I will drop into a rage, and I'll just give the guy in front of me a standard belt to the face.
Okay, so this is one you've already hurt, so we'll see.
Giving me a few more hit points at least. So we shall see.
Of course, it gives you health. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely.
You say it's fine. It's not. It's really not. We'll make a 5-point power attack. Might as well. All or nothing.
Might as well.
The end of the day.
It could be the end of the day.
It could very easily. It could be the end of the day. We'll see what happens, won't we? So, yeah, that's right. 23
is a hit. You smash into the creature.
That is good news. Okay, so where have I got +1? It's not +1. I'm sorry, I've written in my damage wrong.
+1, great.
+1.
1.
Actually, I believe it was 15, 16, 15, and then plus power attack 35. That's a little better than last time. So 35 points of damage to the dome of the one in front of me.
What is it like as you kill the thing?
I mean, I'm not sure he's in an absolute deep focus now. The only thing that's keeping him standing is the focus, because he's so injured. Otherwise, he would be falling down. So he was wavering. He just took a second, took a breath, and now he's in a deep focus. And he's moving in slow motion. Were he moving at full speed, it would be a full fluid motion. He'd be going into a cleave right now to the one behind him, but can't cleave on, I don't think, when you're slowed. So it looks like he's got the movement to carry on into a cleave, but that will happen on his next round.
I imagine if anyone were to be looking at this fight, they'd be just watching as everyone's like,
underwater.
which in a way is pretty cool to think about. Very good. You smash that one to pieces. Please, thankfully, we now move to Galarick.
Slowed. My chances percentage is going up a little, but it's still dicey.
Galarick, it's your turn. The one that you've wounded glares at you.
Yes. One more round. Okay. I will do similar. I'm going to... Galarick just takes for a moment and goes, "Oh, pride be damned." And he will take the flanking bonus. Which costs me... It cost me a knight's challenge. There we go. He won't talk of this.
I'm sure you won't.
So that's... he'll take 4 off.
Okay.
So that then becomes that. Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's to attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a miss, unfortunately. Wait, hang on. He is slowed.
Yeah, it's slowed.
Yeah.
It'll be -1. It's...
-1 on armor class.
You added your +2 for flanking, right? Which...
Yes.
So that then, in that case, meets doesn't exceed, I'm afraid. Oh, I'm sorry, mate.
Bad luck, old boy.
Buggery.
It just glances off its scales, and like it has this venomous look in its eyes as it sees victory is at hand. We move back to the top of the round. I believe that means that you have one further round of slow. Yes. 2 of them have been slain, but other 2 more are fighting with vitality. The one behind you, Felice, is just getting the 1 attack because of that effect.
Thank the Lord.
It's gonna try and take it regardless.
Well,
class?
it's 16, but it's minus on its attack, so
is minus on its attack.
we're even Stevens, I guess. On
It is a hit, I'm afraid.
Yep, figures.
Fingers crossed, mate. That is... my brain doesn't work. That is 7 points of piercing damage. as it sinks its teeth into your side. Please give me a fortitude saving throw.
Fortitude's gone up, hasn't it? Of course, because I'm in rage.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not used to using rage. It's not a thing I've used with the character before. It goes up by Constitution, which is 4, which goes up by 2, so it goes up to that.
Okay.
And he rolls a 2, though! He rolls a bloody 2! He only rolls a 2.
He only rolls a bloody 2.
Hey, man, it happens often enough. You're going to roll low, hasn't you? It's on every attack. What am I supposed to do?
You take 4 points of
Wasn't gonna
dexterity
hold off
damage, Felice.
Ooh, that is very unfortunate. That puts me in a...
Well, I'll let you think about that because that's his turn. So you can work that out as you see fit. That one is bitten into you. The other one is just going to continue its attempt at Galarick. Another savage bite comes raining down against the shield.
22 shield block.
That is a 2 on the die. Dang! Again, bounces from your defenses. That is their turn. Pop, it's your turn.
Cool.
I didn't ask as well how many rounds they're slowed. It's one round per level. Oh god, so way longer. So 6 more rounds to go. Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
No worries. I can cast, then move, then send the spell, can't I, as it were?
Oh, like do a touch spell and then move in to release it.
Yeah, it's not a touch spell in this case. But...
Yeah. I think. As in move to then cast it, you mean? Or, like, I don't know what you mean exactly.
So I think I've read, I was just trying to look it up, but I'm not quick enough. You can sort of cast a spell, hold it while you move, and then release it.
Yeah,
Or,
sure.
Yeah, okay. In which case, I'll cast Colour Spray.
Oh no.
Move to here, and release it in a 15-foot cone that will catch both of them just.
Okay, so in that case then, as you move forward, is Colour Spray subject to spell resistance?
Of course it is. Everything I do is. Should this be 1 or 2?
Last time I allowed it on the slow, I let you just do it because you were doing 1 spell in the area. So I'll say the same for the Colour Spray. If you prefer, well, we'll just say for ease it'll be the 1, as it's the 1 spell.
Fine.
Yeah.
15.
Unfortunately, that is just short, so your Colour Spray exudes forth, but their draconic power protects them. They are creatures of magic born from the deeper mysteries, sadly.
Shit.
Shit indeed. Anything else?
Nope.
Fleece.
Okay, I have figured out my new arm class.
Just in time.
It doesn't change anything else, really, apart from like a reflex saving throw or whatever skills, but it's all good. Just my armor class. I'm not going to be able to kill it. I'm still slowed, so I can't do 2 attacks. This is the last round I'm slowed, though, right?
Yes, it is the last round you're slowed. Yes, and then movement
So I think...
will be an advantage for you, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to try just take a potion, take the attack of opportunity, and hope the potion is a net gain with what it takes off. How much is a cure? I haven't got any cure serious. How much is a cure mod? 2d8?
2d8 plus 10.
So yeah, I take cure moderate wounds potion. It gets an attack of opportunity.
He'll take the attack of opportunity.
So the question now really is, do I allow you to take the damage first before I then add the damage on from the potion? Or do I add the damage from the potion and take that off? I think
I think the last
Really,
thing
as
the
I'm
last
taking
thing that would happen would be it going, because they'd be hitting you as you're doing that, right? So I don't know. I think we've always done it. You're getting smacked, and if you then succeed, you then get the benefit. I think that's how we've usually
well, here you
done it.
go. So you go ahead. My armor class is now 13.
Yeah, that's a
It
hit.
would be 14, but the slow.
That's a hit.
And if you can knock me down, knock me unconscious in this hit, I can't take that potion. Could very well be
It
done.
could very well be. It could very well
Oh,
be.
we'll see, won't we?
That is 7 points of piercing damage.
I would very much be unconscious if I wasn't raging.
No way!
Oh, mate, I would be beyond unconscious if I wasn't raging.
So it sinks its teeth into you, it hurts you, but doesn't down you.
Rage.
Okay, that's
But
cool.
I take oh, you kidding me?
Ones and twos.
Filthy, but I get 13 back. Which
4.
means I'm back in my normal hit point range.
Amazing.
Oh, this is insanely tense.
This is
But
very
I believe
tense.
after, I think it's its next go or my go. I don't know. When does in rounds we need to know when?
Your next turn
when?
is going to be free of slow. So your next turn now, Matt, will
Right,
be
but when-
you'll be free of it.
When is everybody's, just for the sake of armor class additions, because that's very important to me.
Mine's next. Then it's the lizards. Then
So
it's
it'll be after the
Dom.
lizards go, won't it? Because that's when it was cast that it ends. So just before Dom's go, the slow will end. And
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, yes.
That's all I can do. I can't move or anything. So I have a couple more hit points than I did, but not by a lot.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Right.
I think that was worth it.
That was, I think, a very, very decisive yet risky and tense turn. Very good.
Oh.
Felice, that was you. Galarick, you're watching your comrade fighting for his life over the shoulder of this beast that just won't go up. What do you do?
Well, I'm just going to
Galarick, for fuck's sake.
27,
Yes, a hit.
Stop missing.
13.
A deep gash in its side. But it's
Ooh.
it's not anywhere close to being done just yet. Anything else? No, you're slowed.
Mm-hmm.
We're back to the top of the round.
Ow.
This slowed
Side.
one is going to try and slam its jaws into you. Fleece.
Oh shit, it's back to their turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
armor
we knew
class.
it was coming, so. Armor class is.
It's still the same. 13, was it?
Actually, no, we're back on its turn now, aren't we? So that means it's
Yeah.
over. So it's now 14. Doesn't make a big difference.
It doesn't, and that is a hit.
But suddenly we're back to being, oh my god, I'm in pain!
Oh my god, please!
For 5 points of piercing damage.
Oh, shit.
It savages into you and then like hops back slowly drags itself back with a slow hiss. This one is also going to go after you again, Galarick. We're just locked in now. This is just a numbers game.
23.
Meets does not exceed. It slams itself against your shield, but every part of you is required to hold the creature back. That is their turn. Pop, it's your turn, and you see that your friends are freed from slow.
Yes, Pop is going to stop using such valuable spell slots. Because it's killing me, I'm going to take a 5-foot step back.
You do so, yeah. You fall back.
And
Oh, hang
use
on.
Wand of Magic.
Very good.
What were you hanging on?
Nope, doesn't matter. I was going to say you're moving away, but it's only a 5-foot step, so you're fine.
Yes. So I'll pump 2 shots into the one Galarick's fighting.
Zoom, zoom. I feel like I should know
Actually,
this. Gone.
which did either of them look more or less damaged?
I haven't touched this one.
The one up there's not been touched. The one that's fighting Galarick is had a few licks taken out of it. Sure.
Okay, I'll concentrate on that one for now because it's not going to do anything to the other one to help. 5 points of damage. That's fuck all.
Like I said, I feel like I should know this. Magic missile is not subject to spell resistance.
Oh, that's a good question.
No, it is. That's the only defense against magic missile, actually.
Or shield.
And shield, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a spellcaster check,
yeah.
please, Pop. Just the one. Don't worry, I'm not going to do for each of them.
That doesn't matter.
Bang, bang! Just bounces off its defenses.
Well, it wasn't a lot of damage anyway, was it? So.
But yeah, you move away from the creature, but it's your magic doesn't inflict anything upon it. Felice, it is now your turn.
Right, well, we'll go for 2 5-point power attacks to its face. Attack number 1. So it's still slowed. This one was only blind for... It's not blind anymore, right? Is it?
I don't actually know the duration that it was blind for, but it has blind fight, which means it's fine. It doesn't have any...
Oh, it doesn't take any negs. So, right, okay. So yeah, 2 5-point power attacks. Number 1 is only 14.
And because this is only a 14, it is a miss, unfortunately.
And then the second attack... Just double check that. Yes, it is. Oh, that's what we needed!
Right, that's definitely what we needed, I think. Please, confirm.
So it hit. Come on. 23!
That is a confirmed critical hit. Oh my god. From the edge.
Needed 5 rounds earlier.
I know, right? Oh my god.
Roll for me, please. A D100.
41.
You are pleased to hear that is another critical multiplier plus 1. And it was a 5-point power attack. Oh, and that was... Oh, you missed with your
so
at the time, didn't you? Yeah, so...
I was going to say it's the same. It's actually not the same as before because I'm now raging. So that is...
Yes. Oh my god.
It's not a massive amount more, but it's a little bit more. And then... Oh, it's not insignificant, actually, the number.
Not insignificant. Was anything
okay,
go by the
so-
last time?
That
Not
is 146 points of damage. And it is pure desperation because Fleece is at this point, he's kind of holding his neck in between and he's kind of bringing the axe back. He's... because he's bleeding out from every orifice.
And what's it like as you kill it? Like, you swing with that desperate strike, where do you hit it?
I mean, again, it's absolute desperation, so it's going to be a Fleece special where he swings it almost baseball bat style across his body, and as he hits it, it moves the whole thing with it. So it's brunt force as well as the axe cleaving it, and sort of knocks it a few spaces across the room as well. And he spins on the spot and almost lands on one knee and is pretty much spent. But is still going.
And that is your turn, I believe. So
Yes.
2 attacks, yep. Galarick.
Well, not to be outdone, I shall go in with my first attack. Yes.
That's a hit.
And my second attack. No.
Thunk misses sadly.
Minimum damage. 7 points of damage.
That's a minimum damage.
In a million.
Like, you smack it in the face and it goes... And your
Balls.
second attack, sadly not as successful. It is bitterly enraged by such a thing. We are back to the top of the round, and it is the only Drake remaining. He's going to provoke an attack of opportunity off Galarick and Fleece.
Yeah.
So might as well do that first.
21.
Is this the same round? Do I have to take the 5-point power? No, it's a different attack, so I don't think you have to take 5 points off.
I don't think so. No, it's just attack of opportunity.
So I won't. I'd rather land the hit. Possibly a fumble.
Oh dear.
So
It's not a fumble. That's another
Def-
natural 20. What is going on with my dice today? It's not a fumble, it's a miss.
it's just a miss, and that was a hit for you, Galarick. So if you'd like to roll your damage.
12 points of damage.
It lives.
What does it live to do?
With its slowed action.
With it slowed, it's moving towards the stairs. But because it's slowed, it can only get there. They're normally very fast, but that sadly is halved its speed. It's desperately lunging to get away from you all. That's all it can do, because it's slowed. That means, Pop, it's your turn.
Considering these two are just going to flatten it, I will delay until they have.
Could you just rephrase that to
flatten it?
When Fleece has flattened it?
Once Fleece has flattened it.
Thank you.
In case they fail.
There you go.
Okay. So you hold. Fleece, it's your turn.
Hold.
Well, Fleece can do a 5-foot step, so he can still get his full attacks.
Yeah, 5-foot
We'll go
step.
for 2 5-point power attacks. Once again.
Unleash.
1. 24. 2.
Yeah, it's a hit, sorry, yeah.
25.
Both hits.
Nice. That's nice.
That makes that 2 power attacks. 82 points damage.
As it's lunging for the stairs, it's almost like it reacts like it heard something or perceived something that made it just almost involuntarily try to withdraw from the room. And as it's lunging for the steps, Fleece, you kill it. How do you do so?
That doesn't bode well, doesn't it? I like to think that 5-foot step was so. I don't know whether you are aware that half giants, have an inbuilt psionic ability called Stomp. This is not his ability. He's not putting any inherent psionic power in it, but he's doing the action of Stomp straight onto its tail. So he kind of does the which stops it in its tracks because he just puts his foot on its tail, stops it running, and then just just the double tap straight into its back. And like you say, just splays it out, flattens it. Spatchcocks it, you might say.
And thereafter, the final dull thud that brings an end to the miserable creature's life. All that could be heard now was the strange, gaseous flickering of the green flames around you. Congratulations, you defeated the ambush drakes, which are horrible creatures. Spell resistance. Slow abilities, a telepathic shared link between all of them, immune to magical sleep and paralysis, deadly draconic foes. Oh yes. Oh yes. But these creatures, it appears to be guarding the way ahead, and you see before you now that they were guarding effectively a spiral staircase that rises up. You can give me a straight knowledge check. Actually, no, you don't need to, because I described it last session as this. You know that you're in the bowels of a temple. You remember spying there was a temple that was in ruin and blazing with green flames. That is where you are currently below, in a sort of half-collapsed portion of its subterranean level.
The green flame, is that because stuff's on fire, or is it just on it, if that makes sense? Is it just existing, or is it burning?
You can give me a Knowledge Arcana check, Pop.
Only a 12.
You know that it is there through the persistence of magic, not fire through the persistence of burning through fuel.
Pop will quickly explain this. Haste still active for a few more moments. So if you observe the green fire, it's not burning fuel, except of course it is burning fuel, but the latent magic in the air is fueling this green flame, which you can tell is magic that carries on. As he gradually slows down.
Blaze is paying you no attention whatsoever because he has this kind of, I imagine, this green like ichor going through his veins all up his face that are making him kind of stiff and solid like this, and he's got 2 hit points left.
Please
because
give
the rage
me
ended, and he's like, and he's on the floor bleeding out. So
I'm so sorry.
You
You've
want
just
another
reminded me.
fortitude.
Please give me another fortitude saving throw, please, as the
Just
second
out of
dream.
curiosity, when was that supposed to happen? Was it supposed to happen whilst I was running?
It was, yes, it was. It
Because
was.
it will be helpful if I could have done that while I was
Yeah,
running.
no, that's my fault.
25.
You're absolutely fine. You hold back the continuing feeling of this poison.
Just green veins all over his blue face.
Oh, God, Fleece, you look awful.
Fleece is nearly dead. He's got two hit points left. That's it.
Do you want some? Would you like a?
I'm gonna have to take every potion I have. So I have a potion of lesser restoration.
I was going to offer you one, but if you have one, cool.
I have one. It's only 1d4, and I took 4 points of dex damage. So
Could wipe it out in one.
I get 3 points back.
A good night's rest will get rid of the rest.
Yeah, well, so it took me down to 9. So 10, 11,
12.
12. And my dex was on 13, which actually has put me back up to where I was anyway. So I don't need it back.
I don't need it.
I don't need it.
Don't want it anyway.
He's still feeling a bit shaky and a bit unwell, but he's all right. And then I'm going to take all the potions.
Pop will give you a cure mod out of his supply because I don't as much as you do.
And you can have a cure light from mine as well.
Thanks very much. Oh, thank you, my friends. That fight was underestimated by me. I feel a little foolish. Ooh,
That was a great roll, yes.
Makes up for one of the ones earlier where you got ones and twos.
Ones and twos.
So I'll take the other cure mod since I've already got that dice set up. Ooh.
Ho ho ho!
My cure light is there if you need it.
And I will also take a cure light, which is 1d8 plus 5. Is that right?
Yes. Straight down the middle.
Once again, I like the idea that he doesn't necessarily cure all of his scars. He's just got more scars that are like healed and stuff slowly, but still looking pretty drastic. I am still down by a few hit points, but not a lot now.
Excellent. Just to kind of urge us, I can hear the tide still seeming to be coming up here. Should we...
I doubt it could come any higher.
I'd rather we don't risk it.
Shall I scout out the stairs, I suppose? I could sneak up there and see if there's anything dangerous, and if there is, I'll just come back.
Yes, I think this is a very good idea.
Okay.
As long as you are sure that you will not be seen. Don't put yourself in unnecessary danger, my friend.
Let me make some things clear before we do that, just in case you think of anything else you want to do before you go up and check the perimeter or see if the coast is clear, Pop. You are looking back through the doors where you came, and it's quite clear to see where the tide reaches, and it is pretty much at the top of that staircase, and it seems now to have stopped filling up. You see that there are lines on the floor nearby where the tide would have reached previously. So you feel confident with your knowledge of looking at this place from a distance that the water hasn't risen to that point before. So you have one way to think about, at least for the time being. This could provide you a place to fall back in the immediate future. A place to rest, perhaps. But how long that would be, you do not know.
Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're getting a full recovery rest. Did anyone else take any damage?
A smidge.
No. But if I take damage, you're not doing your job right.
Okay.
Is there anything else in the room, I suppose? Should we quickly search?
Yeah, search is probably a good idea. Although a careful search, because it does appear to be on fire.
Yeah, you can do a
It's quite cool. Ow!
search.
I don't have search, but...
No, not at all.
Oh, I do a 13.
A natural 20.
Oh, I don't feel like I'm helping you. I feel like I'm holding you back, if anything.
Look in the water. Look where the tide came up. There's water.
It's the haste, right?
Yeah.
He had a little bit of haste left, and he's like... Super search.
You know what? Because it's you rolled a natural 20, I hadn't planned on there being anything for you to find in here because it's just a burning waste. But as that's a 20
I sort
on
of
the
assumed
die...
there wasn't anything in there.
No, but as there's a 20 on the die, I kind of want to reward it. So let's see what potion you find. You find one stray potion. If you'd like to roll me a D100, please, Dom.
Come on, potion of auto win.
Yes. That definitely exists somewhere, right? 55.
Right down the middle.
Split the diff.
I kind of don't want to say it.
Auto win.
You have a Oh, sorry, was that 55?
Yes.
I misread.
Oh, no, we've got to know what it is.
No, I was going to say that's a potion of neutralized poison, which is a bit late now.
That would have been cruel.
Yeah, it's just a little bit cruel. Where is it? 55 is a... I don't believe this.
I don't believe it.
Just don't.
You can look at the table. I promise you, I'm not lying. That is a resist energy potion.
Ooh, I've got one of those already.
You do. And
We got last time.
given the area, we said that was going to be acid. So I'm going to say that this one is of the same maker. It was in this very dungeon, I believe, or at least
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
So
kind of cool,
is,
actually. It's worked all right.
that's why I think it just makes sense, doesn't it? I know that might seem like I'm trying to help you, but what is different about this one is that this one is not a resist energy 10, it's a resist energy 20.
Ooh.
Do you want to take that, Galarick, if Fleece has already got one?
I think
I've got the 10,
Fleece-
so I think...
Well, why don't I do a trade with you, Fleece? I'll take the 10, you take the 20.
Oh, well, because you're slightly more armoured. But then actually it doesn't come down to armour, thinking about it. It comes down to
Health.
reflex, I think, if it's going to be dodging...
Well,
Acid.
that's
Come
to
on,
resist
keep
the
it.
amount of health that it takes off you if you do get hit. If you get hit, that's like damage reduction for it, so it needs to surpass 20 to hurt you.
yeah,
For a total of...
Exactly.
course.
So it is really who has the more protection. So who is more... your assessment is actually correct. Who is more likely to get hit is the case.
That would be me.
Well, I don't imagine Galarick's
Doesn't
reflex
like
save is
really
particularly good in a full set of armor. I don't know.
Let's compare. Mine can be 5 or 7.
My reflex is 3.
There we are.
Fleece?
Okay. Right. So Fleece then in
Okay,
that
so
case.
are we swapping then? So you take the 10 and I'll take the 20. Right.
So resist energy acid 20 and resist energy acid 10 from before. An excellent roll from Pop, who sees this vial rolling at the foot of the stairs.
What's
this?
the max for it? Because it only resists a certain amount before it dissipates.
Let me look at the spell. It's right here, so I can just quickly.
It's just an amount of time, I believe, the spell.
10 minutes per level. This abjuration grants a creature limited protection from damage of whichever type of energy it is, so in this case acid. The subject gains energy resistance 10 or 20 against the energy type chosen, meaning that each time the creature is subjected to such damage, whether from natural or magical source, that damage is reduced by 10 points before being applied to the creature's hit points. The value of the energy resistance granted increases to 20 points, blah blah blah. Yeah, and it just lasts for 10 minutes per level, so we need to determine the duration of it.
You get 20 points at level 7, so the 20-point one would be 70 minutes it would last.
Yeah, okay.
The 10-point one could be at any level below that, really, but it would be... we generally tend to do the base level for the spell, which is Sorcerer Wizard level 2 spell. You get level 2 spells at level 1, I think.
No. 3.
Do you know?
3.
Level 3.
Level 2 spells is level 3, yeah. Yeah.
Level 3 character.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. In which case, then it'd be 30 minutes.
Cool. 30 mins.
A sweet half hour.
Yeah, and if you've lived that long, then that's a bonus. Yeah, I mean, you're here, you know that there is that rune above you, but is there any other preparations you want to make before going up, or what do you want to do, or do you want to take a moment?
I say we have been here for quite a while, and we did wait in the barracks for a while. Do the two of you need to take a breather?
If I were to rest a full 8 hours, I insist upon it. I will not take less.
Look, we could...
If I'm to recuperate...
We could pop our head up, and then so long as we know that there's no immediate danger, in theory, unless anyone wants to go in and discover those kobolds that we smashed up royally, we should be absolutely fine. They didn't know we came down here. And the tide's out. Or the tide's in, sorry.
Yeah, so should I just check and see if there's any danger above?
Yeah,
I certainly check.
If you want to try and get a full 8 hours of rest here in a burning building.
At least it's warm.
I'm afraid I
Yeah, Fleece is very uncomfortable in here. He's like... it's too warm.
Oh, you wouldn't survive in the hells, I tell you that.
Cold. I need the cold. And you would not survive in the tundra, my friend.
Actually, no, I suppose it depends which hell you're in. Some of them are very cold.
True.
Okay, so Pop, you're going to climb up the stairs, and it's...
His head up.
Yeah, it's...
move silently.
You can give me a move silently roll if that's your intention, absolutely.
Just seems a waste to have all these skill points in it. Take it at every possible opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
25.
I'm going to make a note of that, and now don't. That's not because it's just so I'm aware. So if there is anything, we know.
Now
we know.
So, would it be helpful for you, Dom, to see the map?
Probably.
Pop, you appear. And where you are, you rather strangely find yourself standing in a covered area. The staircase emerges in the middle of a massive, in a massive bell that's smashed on the floor. Do you need me to snap you to where you are?
No, I'm already there. Thank you.
So this actually half conceals the exit that goes down into the spiral staircase. You are in the center of this structure that is basically had the roof blown off it, and a good portion of the south west corner has been blasted away as well. You can give me a spot check, please, from this position. It won't be particularly difficult.
24.
Yeah, that's more than enough. You are troubled greatly by what you see.
Oh.
Upon the tower, there stands a great draconic creature. Size category huge. It cranes its long neck as it surveys the area. You had caught the name once, Pop, as the kobolds argued and bickered. They had named the dragon that guards this tower Chlorikar. And Chlorikar looks like a particularly corrosive character, to say the least. You are disturbed to see flecks of acid falling away from his great jaws, burning into the castle stone that he stands upon. And he surveys the area, but does not seem to flinch when you come out of the bell there.
I would hide as an immediate.
Yes, you can hide. The reason why he doesn't stir is because you emerge concealed, but this will certainly help, absolutely.
Great. 25.
25 on the hide. Yeah, you sort of duck around the rim of this fractured bell and look up at this horrible thing. I mean, it's up to you whether Pop has ever seen a dragon or not, but if you have, you certainly don't get used to seeing such creatures. You know from your checks previously that the dragons not only are ferocious creatures, they are frightfully intelligent, the older they get as well. And of course, the older they get, the more power they draw to them. Both mundane power in those that they control, and magical power, the forces they wield through the arcane. What do you do, Pop?
Now I get to see the dragon. Can I try and roughly ascertain its age?
Yeah, you can give me a knowledge
That's
arcana check, please.
I'll come down to luck. Only 12.
As before, you know that it's huge, which means that it falls into these categories. So it is adult, or a mature adult, or it is old. You also know, Pop, that is around the time that a dragon begins to truly grasp the secrets of the arcane. You are confident that it is more likely than not that this dragon will also have some spellcasting ability as well as its powerful corrosive breath, evidence of which surrounds you.
And what of its seeing ability? Would I know if it can see invisibility, for example? Does it have true sight on it?
With a 12 on the Arcana check, unfortunately, you don't know. You don't know what spells it would be capable of, but if it's old, then there's a good chance that it might have access to that. They unlock spells like casters unlock spells. The dragons, myths speak of the fact that dragons were the ones that birthed magic into the world, and some say that magic birthed them into the world, but they are inexorably linked. So they will likely have gifts to see the things that move in hidden spaces, but you're not sure from the 12, sadly.
Cool. And there's nothing else on the little island that there is there, I think. Doesn't look like anyone can access us.
Well, looking
than the
across, you see that there appears to be a network of rocks that would look particularly difficult to jump across, but there is sort of like a ruined bay of debris that you could use to step onto a larger rock and then climb up the surface to get to a network of lookout posts. A bridge that winds around and then connects to this mechanism here, where you can clearly see that there is a drawbridge raised up. Fleece mentioned about potentially swimming to that part of the structure to climb up it and ravel the bridge down, but that's all you can see from where you are now.
Okay, I'll head back and relay this information to my friends, saying how it appears to be mostly safe, except for the dragon.
Right.
For now. The dragon is surveying, however. It doesn't seem particularly interested in this
Well,
particular location. I would say, if we were to try and get into the tower, what I would suggest is going up above, seeing if the dragon is there. If it's there, taking the underground route. And if it's not there, maybe attempting an overground route.
Pop, you know, from glancing at it now and having done the route yourself, the U-bend that we spoke of, that part of the water, where that meets the Dragon Horde cave, if you were to swim out of that, you remember looking up and seeing the surface of the water. If you swam up there, you would appear behind the tower, but that is a significant swim to do so.
Right, I'd forgotten that was the route out.
That's why I'm reminding you. There's that way where you would all have to swim out.
There's not a way of getting into the tower from that way.
So we either pray hope the dragon's not there or paying attention, or we have to deal with the dragon.
dragons have to sleep sometime, don't they?
Do they?
Dragons have to sleep like every other creature. Do they not have to sleep? I don't know. I believe dragons fall asleep for long periods of time.
Well, what we do know is that it isn't always there, so it doesn't necessarily need to be asleep, for example. It could be patrolling or something.
Okay. Well, there's that. Or we attempt to find a way to deal with the dragon.
I think when you say find a way to deal with the dragon, it is going to be fight the dragon.
Not necessarily.
What other way is there to deal with the dragon?
Well, if we can find a way to trip that alarm you said was around, but remotely, it may lure him under, giving us a
the
window
alarm spell
into-
works if it has to be a living creature that crosses the alarm spell or any sort of movement. I don't know either. Just
It's whether we trigger the alarm and
Balling
use
on
that
spit,
small bracket to then somehow get across. But I don't know what means we would have to do that at a distance.
Pop,
I'm
give
not
me an
equipped.
arcane check.
Would that be knowledge or spellcraft?
No. Oh, actually, that's a good question. Spellcraft, because it's the type of spell. So yeah, spellcraft.
1 extra point then. 10.
It's a level 1 spell, so you know that alarm sounds an audible alarm each time a creature of tiny or larger size enters the warded area.
So we need to go and find ourselves a rabbit.
Well, actually, you say that as a joke, but if we were to get a burrowing creature, I can talk to.
What about that
I actually
sexy
do-
pig?
That is within. That wasn't a real sexy pig, Galarick.
It does. Yes, I assume it has
Alludes.
to be a real creature. All right.
Nothing alive could look so sexy.
Except perhaps something summoned by a lust cleric.
Yes, from the blue magic tome that we do not
Well-
utter here.
Sure, speak of it.
How do we find a little burrowing creature in such a desolate landscape?
I don't know. I don't know if
Maybe a
I may be
mole. Maybe a rabbit,
overthinking it a
maybe a
little
rat.
bit. I think perhaps we need to just keep watch and wait until we see it fly away, and then go as quickly as we can.
Give me
I think maybe we are overthinking it a little bit.
a straight intelligence check.
3. I'm not feeling very clever right now, but I did only just overcome poison and beating and...
7. Pop's thinking about burrowing animals.
17! Galarick's had a brainwave.
There are other creatures in this area still. You know the fact that there are orcs. And you know... Well, yeah, you know that there are orcs. It also doesn't say anything about a creature being alive entering the area.
Just launch a corpse.
But that's me probably just being... Yeah.
Don't know.
It doesn't say it in the spell description, that's all I'm saying.
If we had the means of travelling that quickly, then perhaps. But
I can move pretty quick.
I think
I
it's
can move quite fast.
I cannot.
Well, then that is a you problem, really.
Guys, I hope, hasn't become dragon food and is looking after
Well,
himself.
we'd only need one of us to travel fast, and if I cast a little spell, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called Expeditious Retreat. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not just about retreating, although in this case it would be a retreat in a way, because you're getting fleas away from the dragon incoming. And that would increase his speed by approximately 31 feet. Maybe, no, 30 feet, 30
Right.
feet.
I'm not sure that I can outrun, even then, a dragon. Think you could
You would
increase my
have to,
speed
you'd be
by a
on the
lot.
ground.
Right. Be that as may, there are still the few issues. One, the tide's currently in. 2, the drawbridge you said was still up. And last I remember, there was still orc that were lingering above us. It would be a ambitious challenge. Of course, there is the third one, which is we lure him back into his lair and just prove ourselves valorous champions and take him down.
You are
You
desperate.
really
to
want
kill this
you
dragon.
really want to take on the dragon in a fight, face
The
to face.
stories, the legends, the good it will do for the people of this world.
Have you ever fought a dragon before?
No, maybe. I don't actually remember. I might have done.
Okay, I feel like this is a thing you would remember.
I have an image in my head of a large, shadowy creature that was colossal in size, spikes bigger than buildings, a gaping maw. Could have been that. I don't fully remember.
What even are you? What are you talking about?
Why are you?
I think I'm alive, but
I don't understand.
You're
You,
right.
maybe if you have fought this thing that you speak of, maybe you can kill this by yourself.
Yeah, an excellent idea, please.
Why don't you go ahead?
I very much doubt that.
I am from the mountains. I have fought the odd dragon. Little one. Very small. Very little one. Not much more than a dragonfly.
I've come across some pretty fierce ladies, let me tell you.
Dragons,
They could have been just fine.
real dragons that were smaller than me, and they were hard to fight. In the mountains,
Well-
they are very common. There are tales told of them, and they are formidable opponents on many different fronts. And we struggle against these lizard creatures. If we fight this dragon, then we need to take every precaution. We need to boost ourselves in every way possible. I will drink all of my potions at once.
Don't do that. Don't. As your doctor, advise you
I will drink every potion I have. No, all of them. If that is what you want to do, then Galarick, I support you.
I am just pitching ideas.
I do not know. Once again, we are a little bit stuck. What is the best plan?
Do we commit to taking a rest, though? At least that way, regardless of what happens. Yes.
It is not without risk, but I think if it is necessary for Pop, and we could get a little bit of rest, feel a little better, it is maybe worth it. And then when we are ready to emerge, we can check to see if the dragon remains. If it is gone, then we make our move quickly.
Very well.
Okay. So you might remember that it took a long rest for the tide to ebb last time. So you would have that time to have that rest, and have and then the tide would come down.
Yeah.
This would give you
in the same shift
time
that we did last time
to make the plan if you did want to go and disrupt the horde to draw the dragon down, which is a great thought. So we will say that then, that you're going to rest. I've been trying to, whilst you were discussing, trying to move you separately, because if we're going to be doing a thing where we move between areas, it's crucial that we're going to have you placed on the map in different ways. Okay, so what order are you guys going to rest?
Fleece was happy to take the middle.
Oh yes, Pop made it very clear.
Fleece, Galarick.
Went first, and Galarick went last time. So, Pop, Fleece, Galarick.
Okay, so we'll move back here for the time being. Galarick, you said you're in the middle, yes?
Fleece is in the middle.
Oh, sorry. So you're last then.
Yes.
While you're on rest, can you give me a listen check, please?
$14.
Okay. 14 is enough for you to hear the steady sound of footprints, or footsteps rather. You're alarmed to learn that someone is coming down the stairs. And rounding a corner, you see that there is a towering figure, some thing in armor with ragged wings on its back, and with a single gesture draws a blade that comes into life in pure fire. And that is where we're going to take a short break. For those of you watching live, watching this, then thank you ever so much for dropping by. If you like what you see, give us a like. If you'd like to see more of the stories like this, give us a subscribe, and we'll be back after these short messages. Noted. Pillow drakes.
They're really cute ones. They're really cute pillows.
Galarick, you watch as this figure clunks down the steps in armour clearly blackened by fire, and wielding this burning blade, he turns it to you, this figure, this previously hidden force. He has wings that are prickled with spines all over. Upon his helm there are horns that jut out from beneath it. And with this burning sword he points to you, and then puts it to a pipe and begins to draw upon it. You are Galarick, I assume?
And slightly louder than I probably should be. That's correct, yes. Just being loud enough, hopefully, to draw my attention. And who are you?
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, names are a rather dangerous obstacle, particularly in these troubled days. I shall give you one of my names. I am known as Spider. And I'll put that in the chat. I come to you as an emissary of sorts. Please, though, do not rush to speak with me. Alert your friends. I am not here to ambush you in any way. You'll forgive my potent display, and the flaming sword vanishes. The pipe remains. You don't mind if I... And he points at the lowest step, and before you can answer, he sort of sits down on it.
I'll nudge up the others then. Come on.
Nudge us up.
Fleece and Pop, yeah, you would have been alerted that this person's presence quite easily anyway, but he's clear that he's not trying to make a show of it at all. He's just there.
Going by his current appearance, is there any resemblance of, like, a familiarity, a vague recollection?
There is a vague familiarity. Can you give me a will save, please? And you can also give me the knowledge, the planes, if you have it.
Will save 21, and planes... 10.
Your will save is successful, and you know that this individual is familiar. Whether it's him as a person that's familiar, or whether it's the kind of armour that he's wearing, you're not sure, but there is a familiarity to Spider. The name rings a bell. You can tell that he is a devil. That is clear. Of what kind, unfortunately, you've not rolled high enough to determine, but he has got wings. He has a rather prickly disposition beneath blackened, battered-looking armour. And he says, I mean you no harm. And you have been rather busy of late. This is really the first time I have had to be able to introduce myself. I am an emissary of sorts, an emissary to deliver a message and a proposal.
Have the other two got up at this point?
Yeah, we would have if we were.
We're just.
Once we're awake.
Flace is just looking in, sort of like. But we were. Who is this? What's going on?
You had one job, Galarick.
One job.
Is my time up then? Spiter.
That is not for me to know or to decide, Galarick Doom-Driven. I have to say, it's actually rather marvellous to meet you. You are a rather famed figure, at least from my perspective. There aren't many of our ilk that have... And he holds his head in pain for a second and then says, "Free will."
I don't know who to thank for that, but someone is keeping an eye on me.
Oh, yes. And I am the emissary of a certain power that has been keeping an eye on you for ever since you placed that ring upon your finger, Galarick Doom-Driven. The pieces have all begun to fall into place. It is rather glad that you found it placed across your path.
Well, seeing slightly akin to it more than I would like. Better safe with me than someone else.
So, my dear Sir Galarick, Knight of a Forgotten Age, I mentioned a proposal and a message. Well, if you are to accept both the message and the proposal, then I shall tell you the worth and capabilities of that ring upon your finger. Without such knowledge, its benefits will never be made use of, at least not by you. First, the message. Will you accept it? You are not entering into any pact, I will say. You needn't worry.
I have no idea how many packs I already am involved in, so by all means.
Very well. As I mentioned, I am an emissary and I carry a message from the idolaters. And you can give me a knowledge planes or your level, depending on which is higher.
My level 20.
You do have some knowledge of the idolaters. These are earthly emissaries for the circles of the 9 hells, placed upon this plane to govern in the interest of each circle. A council, as it were, that operates by the whim of those from the lower planes. And the message is merely one of high regard, Sir Galarick, for perhaps you may not remember all of your exploits, but they certainly do. And what's more, their proposal is linked with this. They will gladly impart unto you, Galarick, all that you do not know, in return for hearing them out on a proposed, how do you knights say, quest.
If there are anything of...
No, please.
If they are anything of their kin, from the circles, then why should I take anything they say as truth? Of moral, of any form of virtuous content.
They do not claim to offer virtue, Sir Galarick, but they do offer the truth. You see, since your day, things within the Nine have changed significantly. Nessus, Carnia, Maladomini, all now are held in the grip of the guiding truth of the Nine. The Lord Unifier, the crafter of that ring. And he points at the ring of your finger.
You know, Galarick hasn't actually tried to remove the ring. So he's going to take a moment and just see if he can actually remove the ring. Just...
You remove the ring.
Okay.
He says, "Yes, that was a surprise to all. The previous wearer was that foolish traveller that was baited into some scheme about the werebores, a fool. And his soul now burns in Avernus. You'll note the gem that sits in the heart of the Ring of Red Rule. It gleams a soft red, and you note that it has gleamed brightly when in the presence of other people, as well as when you've worn it as well. All that we ask is that you consider hearing out the word of the idolaters with a unified leader. The Hells have become a more organized force, often hampered by infighting. What is the adage? Evil oft turns upon itself. Well, not anymore.
Galarick, I do not wish to interrupt. Please continue your conversation. I just would like to point out I'm very uncomfortable.
That's quite all right, please. Can I get you a pillow? There's a drink over there.
I'm perfectly fine. I will not ever be comfortable in this room. It is not in any way cold.
Fair enough. I will listen to them, but I have had the voices of hell in my ears for I do not know how long, and it is never good. And whatever has been speaking to me now, bringing me back out of hell, clearly sees things in a different light. Whatever that force may be, sees something beyond this hellscape that I don't remember. Law or not, what good is a unified hell that is still hell? It is still an evil.
You can all give me a sense motive check, please. At these words, Spiter hears this rebuttal from Galarick.
Even me.
Yeah, everyone.
3.
Sorry, what was it you wanted?
Sense motive, if you would care
Sense
to make
motive. Oh, I mean, I'll try. I can do it. I'm trained. So. Yeah. No. I'm just uncomfortable.
If there is any emotional or response of any kind that Spite takes from these words, you are not privy to them. But you do sense that he is quiet for a moment at these words, Galarick. Clearly thinking deeply about what you've just said.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
Yeah.
Can I do that in a concealed way?
You can, if you have the right means of doing so, like meta magics and things, where it can allow you to do silent spells. But
there's a skill trick, but I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I do have the skill trick.
The
I just need to
Gailasar
check
can
what-
do that. Yes, yeah. I'm going to say yes, you can, just for simplicity. You don't have to look it up, but you will have to make a caster level check, and if it's successful, then we'll determine whether or not you can do that without him knowing.
Cool. Oh, why am I rolling so shit?
He will.
Oh, it's not subject to spell resistance, actually.
Oh, it's not.
Weirdly, no, apparently not.
Well, there we are then. So that doesn't
He
matter.
needs to
then.
make a will save, though.
Okay, he will make a will save. Just
That's
move
weird.
this.
I wonder why.
Well, there are a good few that don't require it. It's just that it's often we only ever encounter it when it's combat, and a lot of combat ones are specifically for that purpose of being the magic armor class in a sense. What's the save that he has to make?
The save is if it's concealed, which it means he's denied his dexterity.
I need to just look at something. Oh my god!
Would be
You might
18
have
if
actually
it.
bloody done it. You know, you might have done it. Hang on, I just realised I haven't. Sorry, what was it again?
DC 18 if he's denied his dexterity.
Well, I guess he is because he doesn't know or wouldn't necessarily know you were doing this if you were being successful. So we'll say yes. Why haven't I got that? Where is it? Unfortunately, it is a failure. It was close, but still, you aren't able to detect his thoughts.
Worth a shot.
And he doesn't appear to be aware that you made the attempt either.
Cool.
He will say, you have honoured what the idolaters have asked you. You would listen to their proposal, and you must do so. And you must seek them out in the Hall of Revelry, in the land of Ireland. A place, I'm sure, not unfamiliar to you, Sir Knight. For was it once a great kingdom before the Devil's Line? You can give me a history check. That's everyone.
I have it. No, I don't.
Wow.
I have. Nope, never mind. I'll just do intelligence.
Just be intelligence, yeah.
16.
3.
17.
Oh wow! Both Pop and Fleece, you have heard stories of the Devil's Line. You don't know the ins and outs, but you know that there was once a mighty king that made a pact with the devil. That said that he would have a powerful kingdom for and a powerful legacy that would last for years and years. But eventually, that line would be once again claimed by the Hells. When a succubus would marry a prince of the realm. There are mixed accounts of how that story concluded. One that you guys know is that a powerful magic user and a ranger competed alongside the king himself in a battle against a Nightwalker, where the king was slain in the battle. This is the Devil's Line to which he refers. That legacy.
If I remember the story was that the king was absolutely terrible in combat.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
it
But you'd also remember that line was interrupted by a succubus that claimed the prince first in the marriage bed and then claimed his life. Thus meaning the royal line and the devil's line joined. So that's what he's alluding to anyway. And that is where you must travel to speak with the idolaters. They gather very soon for a meeting, for soon the hour of the hells shall come. That is all that I shall say, but I shall not depart without, of course, fulfilling my promise to you. And I shall now share with you the power of the Ring of Red Rule. So as you recall, the ring, it's, you look upon it now in your hand, Galarick, not wearing it. Mm. It's a ring that's ruby shines crimson. And he says, first, you may use this ring to channel the fires of Nessus. Nessus being the lowest circle of hell. Once per day, Galarick, you can channel 5d8 hellfire into your attacks. This can be shared among attacks, so I'm going to use 1d8 here, 2d8 here, and so on, or it can be used to deliver one hellish strike. But that is not all, he smiles. This, and he notes at that infernal script that was marked around it, that is the mark of Nessus. Now, this is once per day, and it is an empowered iteration of one of the feats you will find in the Devil Touched feats in the Fiendish Compendium 2, page 82. Few have the resolve necessary to confront the Lord Unifier. And you have learned to tap into this commanding authority. Whenever a creature would attack you, or target you with a spell, or use a spell-like or supernatural ability against you, it must first succeed at a will save, which is DC 10, plus half your hit die, plus your charisma modifier. Don't worry, I'm going to send you all of this. If it fails, it must select another target or take another action. So you can just tell it no, and it won't come after you. In addition, once per round, as a swift action, you can infuse a single attack, with Hellfire, dealing an extra 1d8 points of damage. This can be combined with the fires of Nessus total. Now,
is that once per round?
No, so the 1d8 points of fire damage is an immediate thing that you can do at any time.
Oh, wow, okay.
So at any point you can just put a d8 of hellfire onto someone in addition to your normal damage.
Hellfire's nasty.
He smiles and says the trade-off is rather spiteful, though it seems, Galarick, that you alone, in all of the wearers of this ring, have something that those other bearers had not. You have some ability to wear this item and not garner the cruel counter-effects.
Like you, I am a child of evil, and that fell spawn, I think, keeps me immune to it.
And unlike me, Sir Galarick, you are free of his influence, for if another had put on this ring, they would immediately have fallen under the control of the Lord Unifier himself.
Ugh.
The ruby is the chosen treasure of Asmodeus.
I had a feeling.
The Unifier of the Nine Hells. Oh, and just one more thing, he smiles. That ruby shines a brighter crimson than ever, when in the presence of someone who has killed in cold blood. And it has been glowing ever since the three of you stumbled across it. I wonder to which the ring reacts. Good day. And with that, he will give a nod and ka-dung, 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 seems to climb down the staircase, even though the stairs don't go anywhere. And with flames, he is gone.
Oh, now I'm even more uncomfortable.
Yes.
I did not enjoy this encounter.
What did you mean your comment about being born of the same evil as that infernal monstrosity, Galarick?
I
I
don't
you
know.
spent time in the hells, but I didn't.
Yes. Let me put it this way. I don't know my my first life, shall we say. All I know is that whatever sins I committed saw me condemned to hell for eternity, I would imagine. But the only glimmer of memory I have is I truly sought redemption at that moment. And through suffering in hell, my body was scourged through fire and all manners of torture. And then I awoke, born again. And someone described me as being bred in hell, and so I just adopt the term hell bred. And it seems I don't know how many lives I've lived, but I have memories of many things. And when I die, back to hell I go, and then at some point I get back here to serve another sentence, perhaps. Maybe it's my punishment to save as many lives as I've hurt. I don't fully know. Maybe someone's having a sick game with me. Either way, I'd quite like to stay alive for as long as possible before going back down again.
Well, as long as you remain on the path of the righteous, I suppose that's fine. And at this point, Pop will slip into infernal that you would probably recognize as somebody who's learnt it from a book rather than learnt it from anybody speaking it to him. Says, as long as your free will remains.
And returning in Infernal, that is one thing, fortuitously, I've always had since coming back.
Pop goes fortuitously.
Felix is just looking at the pair of you as you talk infernal to each other, looking really uncomfortable. She's just there like
that moment in Helm's Deep where Aragorn just suddenly shouts in common, and I'll die as one of them. After speaking in Elvish to Legla.
I have to say I generally prefer theology to be a little bit less in my face, right in front of me. I like the idea of theology and learning about it, but not being literally presented with it.
We can all empathize with that particular feeling, please.
This is a little bit, what is they say, above my grade of pay.
It's a little out of my scope of responsibility too. I prefer the plane we live on rather than the plane that leads us onwards, as it were.
That's, yes. And even then, I have no memories, really. I'm just of heat and torture and pain, really. Who was down there? How long I was down there? I couldn't tell you.
All right. Look, we are in the fire. You're talking about heat, and I'm having a very bad time.
It's a very different fire, Fleece. It's a different type of fire. Hellfire, you see, is. And then
I think I could show you
a long monologue about the different types of fire.
Galarick, you have literally spent time in actual hell. This is
I think more than I've been alive. I think. I could be wrong.
Do you have any idea how old you are?
No, not at all. Depending, I think in this life, I don't know if I was born young or just appeared in this body. I think I appeared in this body. It's all a bit of a blur. So this could be the body of a 30-year-old, or I could be 4 years old. I have no idea.
You don't look for, if that's any consolation.
Pop, I take that as a compliment. Thank you very much. The moisturizer, isn't it?
You don't look particularly moisturised, I'll be honest.
No. Should have been moisturizing with some kind of cement. I do not know what to do with this information. However, I am a little bit perturbed by the insinuation that one of us has committed a heinous act that your ring is responding to.
I have a suspicion it's me, but well, I think it's
capable of killing, let alone
Well, I have killed. I do not believe that I have ever been entirely unjustified in my killing. I try not to. But
as I said, I suspect it is me, from whatever life that drove me to hell in the first place.
well, Galarick, I think this is a thing that will require further discussion to figure out your situation.
Please do. I've tried
Maybe
for countless.
Put you into a trance and see if I can pull out your previous lives.
It's possible. I think
Very interesting.
we need to figure out, well, you need to figure out if it is the right thing to put your faith in this being, this strange visitor.
I'll be honest with you. Devils are horrible, evil, malicious, but one thing they don't tend to do is lie. They're always very upfront and very truthful about their threats.
Is that right?
At least the ones I've come across.
Ah, it is the demons, right? It's different? They are different? I don't know.
Potentially.
Fair enough, if you say. You are more knowledgeable on this than I am. But I think perhaps now is not the time.
No.
Do
I
a
think
small
now-
lecture if you wanted upon the differences of various planes and the inhabitants.
Once again,
thereon. If
Pop,
you'd
I would be
please,
very
I'm
interested
happy
in this.
to begin. It would only be a few hours, maybe.
I believe that this would be a
Let's
lecture.
Six at most.
This
Put
lecture
that on
would sit
hold.
best for me with ale. We
Well,
will set a date. But for now,
we
we
may
have
need
dragon.
to pass time. Yes, if there is still a dragon up there. There may not be.
Let's have a look and see if there is, in fact, still a dragon.
Yes.
So do all of you go just to pop your head up?
Sure.
No, I can't sneak at all. I'll stay at the
I
bottom.
mean, I can't really sneak very well, but Pop can.
Pop, you can give me a move silently and a hide check, please.
Go ahead.
Just check which way round it is.
And I am just moving us all, just for simplicity, for the time being.
So move silently is first, and hide second. Holy shit!
Both better than before. You are troubled to learn,
Where did you go?
however, Pop, that you go back and it looks like the dragon remains.
Pop does the Shaun of the Dead thing where he's looking out the window. I think they got. Oh no, there they are. Is it in the same place as it was?
Roughly, yeah.
Do I get any indication that it could be an illusion?
That's a great question. Do you have anything to help you determine that?
I could. I'm not sure. Actually, how far away am I from it?
Well, we can find out. Let's use the measure. Now, it is up a tower, which is about probably 80 feet tall. No, 100 with the rock face that it balanced upon. So we'll just say 100 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's too far. That's too far.
100 feet in the air and almost 100, no, just over 100 feet away from it as well.
So using Pythagoras' theorem,
Go on then.
About 125, roughly.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Let's say that.
I
So
teach
just
that to
out
my
of
students.
sight. Just out of any magical sight. I guess it would be purely a spot-based check. It'd be like a research to see if there's any repeated movements, like a little mouse that keeps doing the same stopping point.
From a legendary show, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, you're confident that that's a real dragon?
Cool.
I know we would dance around it all day if not, so I'll say you're confident the dragon is real. The acid that burns from it is nearby is evidence enough, I would probably say, but yeah, you're confident that that's the real thing to your dread.
Yeah, Pop will head back down and say, Chlorica appears to... and he says the name of the dragon with a draconic flourish. As he wants to speak, showing off his knowledge language. His language, knowledge language, did I say? The dragon's still outside. So it appears, and Chlorica, I badly misspelt that. How rude of me.
Well, Chlorica to allude to the acidic would be CH, sure. But also he's a dragon, so K's.
It's more important to be draconic than...
So, K's.
Of course, Chlorica, coming from the elemental chlorine, which is of course in it. Corrosive.
Alright, what are we to do?
Well, Galarick seems desperate to sacrifice us all in a foolish, heroic errand.
It's just an option.
We did not see a way up into the tower from down underneath.
Only by swimming.
Only by swimming. So we cannot make our way into the main body of the tower from underneath where we have just come from.
And we would need, if we want to trigger the alarm, we would need something to do so. And the
I don't
orcs
think that we are going to be
still
able
out
to
there.
go all the way back and trigger the alarm and make it all the way back out. It's going to be very difficult. I'm not sure. I am at a little bit of a loss. I do not feel that we are strong enough to survive against this creature. But
We need to distract it or fight it. We can't stay hiding here forever.
we have the orcs that are left over this way. But the orcs, they are more likely surely to fight alongside it. They are on the same team, yes?
Yes, unless...
So if we are going to fight it, then Galarick, you are correct. We want to seclude it and separate it from its allies.
we wouldn't want it to have flight. As far as I can see, this is a big playground for it. At least underground, it's at the same level as us. Pop, what do you think?
I fear that in a pitched battle with the dragon, I will be next to useless. And it would be beholden upon the pair of you to beat it into submission. I could attempt some tricks, but I fear that a dragon, at its age, at least, it's at least an adult, possibly even older. It's going to be wily.
So, if we are to avoid it, how do we get into there?
Well,
I could create a distraction. My fear is, of course, that it's see-through such a thing. And then,
it probably would be able to.
Well, it's not
well,
seen.
I wouldn't necessarily say it would. There's a chance it would. You know, quite good. Quite.
Just so you guys know, so we can make this clear, the whole purpose behind this is for you to work out how best you want to do this. So don't feel like pushed that you want to go a particular way. If you want to explore, if you want to work things out, that's exactly what this whole area is for. This is only complete when you work out this problem. So don't feel like I'm like that you need to do this before the end of the session. Likely that probably won't be the case. So this is about planning. This is about working things out. So take your time if you need to.
I think if we attack the orcs now, the problem is if earlier we'd attacked the orcs, right, and tried to take the orcs out, we might have stood more of a chance. The problem now is if we attack the orcs, we will gain the attention of the dragon. So we'll be fighting both.
Yes.
If we attack the dragon, we'll gain the attention of the orcs. We could fight the dragon without the orcs if we fight it in the right situation.
Mm-hmm. I could make the orcs believe they're fighting something, which would draw the attention of the dragon. Even if the dragon doesn't believe it, the orcs will, making the dragon come over. But that doesn't get us in anywhere. But
but I think that
does
getting
potentially
in, if we can, I think we would stand a chance against the dragon if we were able to get the upper hand element of surprise in some respect. Get a few good licks in before it has the chance to assess the situation, you know? It's like you said, Mike, if any dragon, if we're out in the open, it can easily just grab us, fly up and drop us. It's not like
I wonder
that's what dragons do.
how much this acidic, corrosive dragon would want to risk melting its loot. How willing would it be to burn away its hoard if we were to hide within it?
Yeah, but the problem is that stuff's all probably magically cursed and all sorts of shit, and you don't want to touch any of it. I don't want to touch any of the treasure.
I will happily share that burden, but
I don't disagree that down underneath the tower, where its loot is probably the best place to fight it if that is our choice. If we were gonna fight the dragon, if that was our choice, and we want to fight the dragon, I think underneath the tower, inside that room, that's the best place. Yeah, the ceiling was fairly high, but it can't pick us up, fly away, and drop us from great heights or anything.
Okay. Let's shelf that idea. We know it's there. Idea of Pop. Distract the orcs. Dragon flies over. Or dragon doesn't, I don't know. Where do we go from there? We need to somehow lower that drawbridge. And we still don't know if the door's going to be unlocked, if we're able just to go in, what's on the other side of that. Is there a way to deal with the orcs and not deal with it? Is there a way to get rid of the dragon?
Possibly.
I have a glitter stone. And I realise if I had seen that other drake, I could have used this, but alas, I forgot.
I really can get over there fairly easy. I'm a very strong swimmer. It's one of my highest skills is swim. So swim-wise, I think like I can make it pretty quickly, I think, and get over there. We're all good. So if lowering the drawbridge is what we want to do, I can get over there and be ready to do that. If the distraction is...
It's how good a distraction and whether this dragon is not going to see you swimming.
Fleece.
I can make him invisible as well. It'd be less effective in water.
You are confident in your ability to swim. You're confident that you could make the swim from the horde to the surface.
Oh, from underneath, yeah. Yeah. And that would bring me out on the other side of the tower, though, wouldn't it? You said, like, over here?
Mm-hmm.
Via the U-bend.
Via the U-bend, yes.
I don't mind swimming a U-bend. See, I can do it, but that just gets me over there. Lowering the drawbridge will get everyone's attention, which then I'm on there secretly on the sly, sneak in. You guys are not. There's some way to get you over there without lowering the bridge.
Well, I'm sure, Pop, you have your ways. The only downside is in this particular get-up, I am also a brick.
You'll sink like a kinstone. Yeah.
Yes. I cannot jump. No. I cannot swim. I cannot be deceptive.
Oh, to be fair, I have a potion of fly.
You do?
You do have
If I were to drink that, I could carry you.
This is true.
Actually.
But I need to be... Well... I didn't want to start trying this, but I fear this may be a backup. Galarick will put the ring back on for the time being.
Now that you know it, what it can do, the sensation of wearing it changes. You feel powerful. You feel confident. You feel just in your ability to cast fiery judgment upon those that you strike, Galarick.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Okay. Fleece up the U-bend. No, phase one. Pop, distract, something, sexy pick. Fleece up the U-bend. Swim, lower the thing. Me and Pop, up, invisible, fly, over. But there's no point for the drawbridge at that point.
But we're all over.
Don't need the drawbridge. Yeah.
Do we not even need you to swim if you can be invisible and fly? Fleece, I would beg to say you're stronger than me. Could you... Oh, wait, no. You'd have to take all three of us in one go. It's the fox, the dog, and the rabbit again, isn't it? No, the chicken.
Are
That's
you,
it.
are you
The
suggesting
fox.
you're going to eat me if left alone?
No, one of us, because only one of us would be visible at one point. Only one of us can fly.
Hellbred are the natural predators of gnomes, after all. It is Fleece's company alone that you still draw breath.
Rats.
Well, I could cast invisibility sphere on the person who's flying. They're constantly visible.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone. Oh no, because it wouldn't work. It only works on that initial people, and if you leave the sphere, stop being.
Yeah.
So we have to take over one of us, go back and do the other. But we are going on the assumption here that a dragon won't be able to see someone who's invisible. I think the distraction may be still the best course of action.
Yeah, it just stops them being able to like glance over and.
I'm only not jumping at the distraction idea only because how often do a band of orcs cause a kerfuffle? Like, they're orcs. Probably do that quite often, have arguments between each other and whatever. The dragon might just raise an eyebrow and that's kind of it.
The words evil oft turn against evil echoes in your mind, Galarick.
I suppose what you could do, Pop, and this is a big ask. This is bonkers, actually. If you were to make the orcs think the dragon was attacking them, right? So you're doing it to the orcs, not the dragon. Mm-hmm. Somehow, then you could get the orcs to attack the dragon, right? Like if they think they're defending themselves because the dragon is attacking them.
I don't know if the orcs can get the dragon from where they are.
No, we would have to find
Very
a way
brave
for
of
the
them as
dragon
well.
to come over. But it would be brave, but they'd be defending themselves because from their perspective, the dragon would be viciously, menacingly attacking them in some way.
But I still have this glitter stone. What if?
But what if this?
I could just throw the glot at the dragon.
A mighty shot put.
Right.
Okay. Distraction of some sort, invisible fly tactics, or lure it down. I think we've whittled it down to two key choices. But it would need to be a damn convincing illusion.
Well, there is a spell I know called Major.
Not as minor, major.
That sounds like kind of a big deal.
It's a very big deal. Or I could I? That's probably. Hold on. I'm just going through all my spells.
Yes.
Or we don't do an illusion, we make it real, and one of us just sacrifices ourselves. For the greater good.
Back to hell again. Well, it'd be a worthy way to go. I'd rather not, but if I'm going back down again, I'd rather do it fighting. Go down swinging.
I think if we just fight this dragon, we almost definitely are going back down again.
Yes, maybe.
Okay.
Tactically feeling a little
All in favour for distraction and fly? Raise a hand. Perfect. No one. So that leaves us with wanting to fight the thing. Even you, Pop. You were keen about it.
I was not keen. I just am not sure of exactly how the distraction would happen yet. I'm just formulating the plan.
But think of the glory.
There is no plan that what I say, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Well, you're confident that that could be the case for anything in this situation. Nothing is sure. Things can go wrong. It's really about coming up with the best approach, flawed as it may be.
Right.
So, my only consideration is if we don't fight the dragon now, and we have to deal with the dragon later, we're dealing it in unfavourable environments.
Yeah, I think if we're going to fight it, we need to be sure that we're going to fight it, so that we can prepare in every way possible, so that we aren't on the back foot.
I also
having
have
to
potions.
go, oh crap, now we've got to take potions and stuff. Like, we do the potions, then we know the fight's happening. I think that, like, so if we were going to fight it, for example, a way of doing it would be to set off the alarm, have it show up, make it look as if there's only one being down there trying to steal its treasure.
Hide in the gold.
Everyone else shows up when it assumes, well, this is an easy kill.
It won't want to, disintegrate its own gold. You can hide
And
the treasure.
then what? You're stuck in a pile of gold.
Then
I'm not
fleet.
suggesting we hide in the gold. I'm suggesting that we...
Oh, you're no fun. Think of the story.
It's virtually impossible to know if it's going to be able to see invisibility or not.
Yes, you're quite right.
We don't know. If we were to do that, we could have one person, probably Pop, because, no offence, little, sneaky, you look like... You make yourself look like you're a little sneaky thief.
Mm-hmm.
It will show up. It will assume easy target trying to steal my gold.
It'll brutally kill me.
And then when it...
And then you can kill it.
Yeah, that's
A worthy.
basically...
That was Pop.
I do not wish to make you bait, but that's exactly what that plan does. So.
I think we can do this without the bait.
It's been a rest since you last did your checks, Pop. So if you would like, I will allow you to do another knowledge arcana check, please.
Next time I level up, I'm pumping knowledge arcana.
I know, I'm sorry, I keep asking of it, but it's dragons.
No,
Dragons,
it's
it's that category. Yeah.
Pretty.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
dear, Pop.
Okay.
Pop is stressed at the idea of a dragon.
Well, your last check, I do apologise, was inaccurate. So, not only could it be an adult, a mature adult, old, it could also be very old.
Oh, it could be very old. I'll add that to the note. Adult to very.
Now, me neglecting to say that originally probably is a clue in itself. But Pop doesn't know that. No, I'm kidding. You can tell that it's probably not very old, but it could very easily be old, which would mean that it would have a significant amount of health, an immense power to its attacks, immense power behind its breath weapon, and wielding magics on top of that.
So what I'm taking away from this, Pop, is immense.
If it's old. Only if it's old. If it's just adult, it's just very strong, not than immensely strong.
I see.
But we can't possibly know its age. You can't exactly cut it open and count the rings, can you?
Well,
Okay.
Well, I
Using
would
that.
try. I would try.
Okay. How do we distract some orcs?
I would create an illusion that would make them think that there is an incoming force lining up to attack them. I would use a I'd make it look like a small decent sized force.
Okay. Army at the gates. The orcs move to the gates, leaving poor Averios sat watching.
They can't see him. He's fine.
Good point. The dragon, at this point, may or may not be watching them, but maybe is enough to draw its attention so that we could fly over.
Yeah.
I think Fleece would need to do the flying. I think you're the only one strong enough to carry me.
Yeah, probably.
This is quite heavy armor.
I think I might be able to. I mean, Pop basically weighs nothing.
Just a little guy.
Pop could just climb on my back, and I could get both arms under your arms.
Pop's just a
Carry you
shield.
across. I don't see why. I don't see why not.
So we would have, once we start flying, for me to cast. Oh no, I wouldn't have to do it in that order. I could cast Invisibility Sphere first, makes it visible, then cast Major Image, concentrate on that, get us over there.
Holding on to me, going.
Yeah, we'd have
We're
7
flying
minutes.
across.
And it's a potion of flight, you said.
It is, which
Okay.
someone else can take. Someone else can do.
Right. Worth a shot.
Okay. I think this is a lot of hope that the dragon will actually go and take action here.
How about this? If the dragon doesn't take action, we just charge to the door and try to get in.
Just trying to get in.
The other
hope it
option
can't
is
Because then
to
once
flee.
we're inside,
Even if it
we're
doesn't go
indoors.
over there, it's not going to see us.
We have
If it's looking
It's
in
gonna
that
look over
general direction,
I'm down.
it'd be better than nothing.
We need to do something.
Yes, and short of fighting it, which you have said is immense, I think this is our solid option.
So, are you going to move towards the direction of the orcs then to investigate their position further? Is that what you want to do?
I don't think I necessarily need to, because I've got quite a distance on Major Image.
You will need to be able to see them, and currently they are a level above you.
Why would I need to see them?
No, sorry, apologies. I'm sorry. You don't need to see them then.
Well, my understanding of the spell is that I create an illusion that exists in space.
Yeah, I think
And
you might
they-
have to have a rough idea of where you're casting it, not anybody
Yeah.
that's around it.
Air guys can just neigh for you.
I think you would need to be able to see the illusion only so that you don't make it like partway through a wall or something. Then it'd be obviously an illusion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what, right? Because I'm asking because like this here is like solid, like stone. This walkway, okay. So while it's not dynamically hidden by the lighting, this blocks line of sight to this.
What about a giant water creature? A big tentacle comes out of the water. Like a
I
large
think
octopus.
it's entirely up to Pop what illusion he wants to create, what he thinks is the best that he can create, really, as well. What's your most
A
convincing
sexy
illusion?
squid.
Hot.
For God's sake.
A tentacle monster. Like
We are
something
not
else.
bringing tentacle ideation to this game. At least not yet. That is actually for our Patreon, which we are releasing next month. If anyone would like to see the Tentacle Adventurers, pay us a lot of money, please.
Coming out soon on our OnlyFans.
Yes.
I actually think a flying creature might be better here because it's, if anything's going to piss off the dragon, even momentarily before it discovers that it's an illusion. If it figures out it's an illusion, but it won't just instantly know it's an illusion unless it's got true seeing, which, I mean, that's quite a high level, isn't it? True seeing. It's
Very
gonna be a
high.
tough thing. So even if it takes it just a bit, just a little bit of time to figure out that it is an illusion, it's enough to piss it off because it wants air superiority, right?
I could create what's the opposite of a green dragon? A bronze dragon.
Yep. A metallic dragon would certainly would stoke the ire of a chromatic dragon, certainly.
If you think you can create that convincingly, or something, I mean, or something less threatening, but that is just going to, like I say, piss it off, make it want to just fly over and go, fucking get out of my skies. Either way, I mean, it's down to you, isn't it, really? But I think a flying creature is probably also, then you'd only have to be able to see the sky above where they are. So the fact that this wall is blocking the line of sight to the orcs doesn't really matter. Because if you then would just create it above that region.
I can create fire in places that they're not. So. Oh, wait, no, what do bronze dragons breathe? I should do this.
Bronze is fire, I believe. I think you're right, yes.
I believe it's lightning.
It might be, actually. I'm not sure. I don't
I
want to
thought
go.
that was
Bronze ones.
brass. I thought it was brass.
Oh, I'm
Did
pretty
like-
certain it was bronze because that was your dwarf's man's the dragon shaman. Dorvan the dwarven dragon shaman was a bronze enthusiast with a lightning breath.
Dorvan the dwarven dragon.
Dorvan. DDS.
Well, that works because
DDS.
need any trace that I have to focus on.
With his third arm.
Oh my god, this third arm. For those of you interested, watch the 3-part epic Chaos Falls, ran by Matthew, to watch Mike's character get a third arm. You'll never guess where it grows from.
What did he turn into? Was it a cocker spaniel?
You'll have to watch them to find out, Michael. They'll have to watch them, won't they?
You have to find out.
You'll have to go and watch Chaos Falls.
Right, come on. I reckon we should just go for it. I reckon we can at least see where we're going to end up next session if we don't get much into it.
Yes, that
I wanna
is
see how
definitely
this
what we're
plan's gonna
going to do.
unfold.
So we will do the setting up of the affair so it plays out at the beginning of the next session. So by all means, what's the first step?
Beginning of next
First
session, we
step
can
is
either end up
Fleece is
in the
given
tower or
potion of
in
fire.
combat. Nice. I will have a quick look and see how long that lasts. I can't remember.
Is it 10 minutes per level?
What's that, sorry?
That potion of fly.
I'll find out, mate. I'll find out. It's all good.
Minutes, probably.
I'm pretty sure it is 1 minute, so it's 1 minute per level.
Handing that to you.
Sorcerer Wizard level 3.
Then I will cast Invisibility Spear, which turned the sword invisible, which is a third level spell.
Okay.
And then from behind a nearby tower, so that it can have a reason for just appearing 400 or so feet away.
Ping me if you want, Dom, the exact location so I know, because this is where you'll be drawing the ire.
So it would come from the city. This direction, but further off.
Oh, off map?
Yeah, so as far away as I can, which I believe is
6 minutes.
what's 40 times 7? Should be up to. So I can make something be 680 feet away.
So we'll say then that will make him go back to the bridge where you fought the Sorhagen, which is off map, but where you approached from. That's the approach to this place. So another map he will have to fly to get there. Okay.
And it will swoop from behind or underneath something. I can't remember exactly how that lays out, but so that it has a reason to start appearing because it started from behind something.
Okay, and what was the exact thing that you are making it look like?
A bronze dragon.
Bronze dragon, okay.
But it's going to be slightly smaller than Chlorikar.
Oh,
Not
yes.
a lot smaller, but so it's got some confidence going in.
Oh, yeah, they don't... You're absolutely right. He wouldn't go for one...
If it's bigger, it's not going to be down for that.
Yeah. Okay. So, with that then, invisibility sphere is cast around all of you. So you
climb on my back.
Okay. So, what... Because... What's the next step? Are you just waiting for the dragon to react and then you'll move?
Yeah, so the second that dragon starts flying off towards this thing, that's when we're going to move. The fly gives you a fly speed of 60 feet, right? So we can get over there pretty quickly.
Yep. Okay.
So we just want to clear that gap, get over and try and find a way into the tower as quickly as possible. If there are any open cracks in any openings, any open windows, anything like that, we'll go for one of those. If there's just a door, we'll go for that.
Okay. Now, the spell that you're using to bring about this bronze dragon, that's Major Image, is that right? Or, I might have lost your sound there, Dom. Say something again?
Sorry, my fault. I muted myself.
No, all good, mate. That's okay.
Major Image, yes.
Major Image. So he, if I'm not mistaken, needs to interact with that to allow him the save to determine it's false or not. Yes?
Yeah.
Will disbelief if interacted with? Yes, I already know.
But Major Image creates sight, sound, smell,
heat,
heat, everything. As far as anybody else is concerned, it's very realistic. So,
okay.
Fingers firmly crossed, boys.
So that happens, and Pop, like in the distance, because it's your magic, you can kind of sense its movements. This bronze dragon spreads its large wings. We'll say it's a large category then, so it's one size smaller than the huge. And it takes to the air. And immediately you sense a change fall over the environment that you're in. A dragon's mood very much dictates the mood of the general area, and whether it's because you know it or perhaps you would have sensed it anyway, you don't know, there's a sudden tension. And there might have been the long drawn breathing of a dragon at rest. Suddenly it goes quiet. And you see that ghastly long green craning neck rise up with its eyes fixed in the distance. Its wings fold back and taut as if ready to beat them at any second. Can you give me a spellcraft check, please?
Yes.
We're with you. Come on, man.
A lot in this place. A little. I like to think that a dragon spotting another dragon is, when a cat spots another cat across the street. They don't necessarily move, but they sort of like their whole demeanour just shifts.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
Just imagining a dragon doing that thing where
It becomes
the back arches and it just starts hopping around the tower. Anyway.
Oh, I've got to get that out of my head now. That's too funny.
Spellcraft check, please.
As Rob would say, bring me fortune.
Bring me fortune.
20. That's pretty
you know immediately that this dragon, as easily as just as speaking, casts a low-level spell, a sending spell, and through the weaves of the arcane, it's almost like you can tell that the dragon is sending a message. Of some kind. You can give me a listen check to see if you might hear the dragon. And all of you can do that. It's going to be quite high. Whoa! Okay.
I can't get anywhere near that.
Popper's got good ears, and I guess he's probably he's really paying attention to make this
Normally you have
everything work properly
16.
and it fit in the environment.
It's perfect, and I'm so glad that you've heard that as well, because you hear the dragon just go, and the intake of his breath is like the sizzling of acid burning into limestone. There's an intruder on the perimeter. And then there's a beat. And then he says, "Yes, Chapter General Maxim. I shall investigate. It will rue coming into my territory." And sizzling like a defiant, terrible chemical, great green wings are spread wide, and the dragon is aloft with a single beat of its wings. And with a single beat of its wings, it moves its general speed of 150 feet.
Yeah, dragons, man. They're
They're
so
fast.
fast, aren't they?
And if I were to measure...
Well, it's way off map.
Well, and then with a second beat of its wings, it moves away towards the bridge.
Right. Instantly. We're away. Galarick, dense bastard.
Within moments, you are all thrust into the air. So you're to describe to me then that you're using fly. Is that right?
Yeah. So we've got Pop, who is on my back with his arms around my neck.
But with his
clinging
eyes
on.
firmly on the illusion and the green dragon.
And then Fleece is... he has both of his arms under the armpits of Galarick, who is just hanging like a suit of hanging armour. Like when they transport the big robots in
That's so cool.
Just hanging there. But only we can see it, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mindful to keep my knees up just in case my legs dangle out of the range.
Yeah, we almost make it across, and then there's a massive clang as you hit the stairs or something.
Fleece is okay, but Galarick's very heavy, so Fleece's face is slowly turning blue up.
It's going to be purple with exertion.
That's just how he looks when he gets flushed.
So you can move, and at the moment we're not in initiative, so you're free to move to where you would land before I give you another description. So where would you move to fly next to?
60 feet. It's only going to take 2 moves, isn't it, to get?
Yeah.
So what do, like I said, is there an opening in the tower, like a window or anything big enough for us to fly into it?
So there are not really windows enough to fly in. You notice that there are those, effectively, exactly that, the arrow slits. But here there is a door on either side of the stairs that run up on either side of it. So here,
actually, on the top there's a staircase down, isn't there?
There is also a staircase at the top of the tower.
So let's do that.
Okay.
Do you think that's going to be? No. I'm just trying to think of the fastest way to get in the tower before.
I will also say, as you take flight, because you're now no longer obscured by the rest of this building, you see as well that there is a large chunk in the wall on this side here.
There's a large chunk, like, missing.
Missing, yeah, like a wide
wow.
entryway into that side of the tower where the ruin has been basically pushed through by the elements.
Okay. Which one, boys? Split decision very, very quickly. Hole in the wall or staircase in the top?
Depends if there's anyone in the hall, I guess.
The top. Why not?
Okay, you move to the top of the tower, so you can. I can move you there if you prefer. If you need help moving over there,
Move across, so we'll
you
land
can
up
plop
here.
yourself up there.
And we literally glide as close to that as possible, and even as we're going down, I'll glide us down a few steps as well first, just so that we don't make any.
Drop Galarick down the stairs.
You can. You can give me a spot check, please, as you're going down the tower. So you're and to recall, you are invisible and you are soundless currently. Yes.
I didn't cast
20.
sounds, actually, to be fair.
15.
25.
20.
So sorry, Dom, you didn't cast the zone of silence.
Zone of silence.
So you're just invisible. Good to know.
Yeah.
So 20, 25, and
15.
you're all going to see this. And I am going to have to do something about this here. So, as you are going down those stairs, and yeah, with flight, you're able to sort of just keep above the staircase, so you're not clanging down the staircases. You're using flight to follow the line of the staircase. As you're doing so, you see that you are effectively flying into an almost hollow structure. There are different levels as you move down the stairs into the first level from the top, but really it's just a singular drop down from basically your first entry. Because you're invisible, you don't arouse any ire from what waits below. I'm not sure why it's not there. That's upsetting, so I would just have to describe it. As you're looking down this structure, you can see that there is a central plinth, and it gleams with an eerie light. You see that there is that entryway into the castle wall, smashed through here. Upon the plinth there, and I'm just coming back here, there is the unmistakable form of a drow. Who is lying there motionless. And standing over him in full armor, with a gleaming, almost sickly emerald tint to it, there is a towering figure with a long tail. With a draconic helm resting on the plinth next to him, you see what can only be described as a half-man, half-dragon. Lurched over the figure. And he appears to have his outstretched talons over the drow's head. And from a jaw that is made completely of metal, replacing any flesh that was once there, there is a grate. And it bursts with unstable flames at every word. And he says, "At last, your secrets are now my secrets. I know where it is." And that is where we're going to leave our session tonight, as we finally lay eyes on Chapter General Maxim.
No way. An half-dragon.
The half-dragon.
Half-dragons, I have a vague memory of, in 3.5, are very different to what most people, viewers who have played 5th edition, will understand as half-dragons, I think.
Oh, very
They're,
different.
I think, a way bigger deal.
They are a huge deal. They're very rare as well. Very rare and very
5th edition
dangerous.
nerfed them to make them more appropriate for player characters, essentially.
Yeah, well, they're dragonborn in 5th edition. Half-dragons are something else. And
I have very vague memory, but I do at least remember that they are terrifying.
Pretty cool.
Oh, yes.
Pretty cool. Pretty
Wow.
damn scary.
We are going to obviously have to find out what happens next time. But as we always do, we wrap up with a few thoughts at the end of the session. And I think we should start with Matt, seeing as this could very well have been Fleece's last session in that combat. Matt, what are your thoughts and feelings at the end of the game?
I actually loved that combat. I have to say, although I was very close to that, 2 hit points away from death, and then another, I think, at 2 hit points at one point, and then I went up, and then I went back down to like 4 hit points away from death again. Just kept going down, but it felt like a proper scrap. Like Fleece was really in a, like, taking a hit, really in a scrapping it, and it just felt lovely. I really enjoyed that combat. They were way more of a threat than I anticipated.
Yes.
And then, of course, we this has been the same for both parties. We came across our real weakness, planning. We suck at it. We don't know. We can't make decisions, and we and ah. It's all we do, and it's just infuriating. Yeah, that was a struggle to try and come up with the best way to do it. I don't know why we struggle with that so much.
I don't think you're alone in that. I think that's most, and I just want to say, like, for me, that isn't a bad thing. For me, that shows that requires debate from you guys. It's not an easy choice. If you were like, we'll just go do this, and do this, then there's no challenge.
Yeah.
That you're having to look at your abilities and make whatever decisions you can, personally, for me, is great. Because you're having to work it out. I've given you the problem, you've got to come up with a solution. And I think that's...
A little bit of it is, right, and I cover this very quickly because I'm aware I don't want to talk anymore, but, like, we, as our generation and from playing video games and stuff, our brains have been inclined towards what's the right way to do this. What's the correct way to overcome this challenge? So when we're doing this, you have to try and fight against that way of thinking and go, what's a way? What's our way of doing it? There isn't a right way in D&D. That's the point. It's think outside that box. But we've been so conditioned. And I think we were doing that a bit. And we had to try and get past that. And hopefully we have. But yeah, that can be poisonous a little bit. Like, what's the right way to do it? And so yeah. But I love it. It was a great session. Lots and lots of fun. Very curious about that demon-y character in Galarick. I do want to find out more about that.
For real.
I loved his exit. So cool. So cool.
That's rad.
Dom, what are your thoughts at the end of the session? Pop turning the tide in particular was something that stood out for me.
Yeah, Pop's a very interesting character to play, like both in terms of combats and outside of combats, because it's like there's usually something in his arsenal that can at least like help significantly, but it's whether or not it's worth like spending the high level spell slot, because usually a high level spell slot that's going to do anything, and there's not that many. He's not got that many chances to cast these things, and if they fail, which they did a couple of times there in the Drake fight, it does have like creates a bit of indecision for me, but I enjoyed the Drake fight. I like not just getting my own way in fights. I know sometimes I end up being a bit like, oh, I didn't get to do anything that turn, but when you just like do something and it wipes out the enemy, that's as bad as like them just wiping you out in a way, isn't it? It's fun sometimes, but if that's what you get.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm glad you think that way, because like when I knew it was going to come, it's always horrible when it's like, please make a caster level check, because all of you know that is been a personal bane of most of my characters that I've played in the session, is when someone says Mike knows. Like, I've screamed at Mike when he said do a caster level check.
No!
So
I can win this.
I know that more than anyone. So yeah, I do get what you mean, but that is also good to hear that like you feel like there's always some solution that Pop is armed with, and I think you're right. Pop always has some kind of solution. It's sometimes you've just got to find that solution throughout the combat, and that's what that slow felt like. The slow back at them was like, it was amazing, and I actually was like, oh my god, they're not immune to it. That will work. So yeah, it's really satisfying to see that happen in the organically in a combat.
You saved my life there.
You did.
Without that,
I was
I'd have been
hoping
dead.
it wasn't going to be completely redundant. I had a feeling
It really
that
wasn't redundant for me. My character would have died definitely if you hadn't done that. So very grateful.
And as we were talking about it as well, no, sorry, go on, Tom.
I was just going to say the other part of it is that he's not a classic adventurer. He's not going to. He doesn't do damage really. He's got some spells that can do damage, but not really. And also, like, with how the character is, he's not super keen on going into fights. Really, he's not about that life. So, like, Galarick's constant, like, let's fight the dragon. Pop's just not going to do that.
Nope.
Well, that was what I was going to ask you. Like, in your opinion, then, because Matt said about the prepping and the planning. What are your thoughts on that? Is there anything that you have your concerns about before we move over the planning section of that? Do you feel happy with that?
Yeah, I think it was just like making sure that we were doing the best we could in that situation. I think not necessarily the right things that I was saying, but my worry was that, as I've said for several sessions, I was worried the dragon could see through illusions, and that would have just scuppered anything like that illusion. So I was quite pleased.
Yep,
it did work out.
It has to.
Although I did want to see if I could beat the dragon's will save.
Oh,
I imagine not, but I'd be excited.
You'll probably learn soon enough whether or not that's possible. And finally, Mike, thoughts and feelings at the end of the session.
Yeah, those drakes, they were. Yeah, you look at them and you think this could just be straight up, but then you hit them with that slow, and oh boy, that was
mean, isn't it?
Concerning. And I was looking because I had, if Fleece went down, I had a means to get him back up again. But then it's looking at that's 2 rounds potentially of doing nothing but just slowly walking over, and that in slow that's 2 squares. That's all Galarick's doing. He ain't going far. But I think that was a great fight, and I loved the sheer brutality from Fleece was brilliant, but I liked how pop, you just were able to just give us a fighting chance, which was good. I think Galarick, with the encounter with Spiter, has a sort of like indignant nausea that's just eating away at him. It's just, although he may not know all about what's happened, his current attitudes towards evil ne'er-do-wells, and specifically evil outsiders, is growing more into I suppose, a tangible force against them, as opposed to a distaste. And in the past, where he's been very, I'll do the right things for the right reasons, it's now more a case of, I will fight the evil at its source, as opposed to wanting to avoid it.
Yeah, the reason I asked the sense motive was because, like, your response in character to that was unbelievable, and like I wanted, you didn't see it, but I wanted you to catch the Spider's reaction of you effectively describing what he is. Like, because remember, he's exactly in that position that you're describing. I just thought it was such a cool character moment for Galarick, because it is hard to play the amnesiac, I have a mysterious missing past, but that's always been Galarick's thing, isn't it?
Yes.
So for you to put it so eloquently in character was a really, really cool, rewarding moment for sure.
To be fair, though, it's rarely done quite as earnestly as Galarick.
Agreed,
a lot of people just do the I don't know
my
who I
hidden
was.
destiny is
as opposed to Galarick, who we've played it. It's played out. We know that he's forgotten this stuff, and there's a lot more substance to it because of the history, which I really appreciate, and the character.
And I know
so
we were saying just early on, like all of us were saying, not knowing what maybe led to it is far worse, because it's always worse not knowing than to be told. But it was a moment, I think, to learn more about a possible enemy is a good thing for Galarick at this point, especially wanting to take more of a direct approach. I think the concerning thing is that ring, as much as he doesn't want to use it, there's a slight Tolkien moment here. He doesn't want to let it out of its sight because he's concerned, what if someone else puts it on? Galarick's confident in being able to shirk that, but if Pop or Fleece had put that on instead, then...
And I said to you once, I'll say it to you again, I didn't know, I don't make a habit of looking into what your character traits are, and that's not because I'm disinterested, it's because I just don't make a habit of it, because I like not knowing everything that you guys can do, and I legitimately didn't know that you bypassed the evil effects of that sort of evil things, so I was like, well, I've got you now, but then you said, I was like, aha. So that's really interesting. That so you're holding on to the ring that if anyone else puts on, will commit them to the service of the Nine Hells. But whilst you're wearing it, you're preventing other people from doing so, and that was so cool.
Yeah, that's what's going through Galarick's mind.
Very cool.
And the idolaters. They're going to be interesting if we ever get there. And
I will say, I do feel sorry for Ireland. It's gone through such a beating in our
it's the next logical step, and it's all your fault.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and my fault, and Dom's fault, and Matt's fault. It's all of our faults in some way. So yeah, and yeah, just your thoughts on the plan at all, because I wanted this to be a planning session, and I think it's so important. In sessions of D&D, you're given that chance to forge your own destiny, to decide how you go about solving a problem. What were your thoughts on that before we conclude?
I think Galarick's not the smartest person, so he's always happy. Even if he's going to throw an idea, he'll defer to someone who's a bit smarter than him. But there is a nagging feeling that we've not seen the last of that dragon. And... if it comes back now, because I was eyeing up the room we were in, and oh boy, that's a large hole at the back of the tower.
Yeah, big hole.
It's a huge hole from what I saw at the back of the tower. And I am just I suppose the martial that the combat orientations in Galarick is having to deal with the dragon and maybe someone else is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Well, this is it. The pieces have been set. It's now going to play out next time on the next session of Knights of the Apocalypse Omen War. As always, if you like this video, give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, and give us a subscribe. You have to tune in next time to see what happens with this conversation, or this interaction, or this assassination of Chapter General Maxim, whatever happens with that.
Or this snatch and run of a
Or
drow.
the snatch and run of a drow. We will, of course, have to find out next time, and we will end it as we always do. End the sessions of Roll the Bones. We say, bone them rolls.
Don't tell your mum.
Also,
So don't tell your mum.